What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. There's some crazy stuff going on, guys. There's some crazy stuff going on. See who's in the chat already. What up, Don? What up, Woke? What up, Mike? What's going on, guys? If you guys noticed the poll is apparently now let me did Trump actually Trump truce I'm not weird. Did he actually I don't know if he actually said I'm not weird. I'm not sure about that if somebody has a link or something like that. But all this stuff with JD Vance saying he doesn't have he's not getting his feelings hurt by being called weird. People should stop saying he's weird. All of these things has gotten really blown up on social media, and apparently Vivek just tweeted a while ago that like we don't have to call people weird. Like he got really weird. They're getting really weird about it. And, I've been saying these people are weird since I got on this channel. And I'm just glad that people are finally fucking catching up to me. I mean, for how long have I been saying to the people that come into my chat and say all the weird shit they say, you guys are fucking weird. I'm like, the things you believe are weird. You guys believe we're in a movie. You believe Joe Biden's a skin suit. You believe JFK Jr. is coming back. You believe they put micro things in the bots and the vaccine, control people's brains. You're weird. It's not even an insult. It's just descriptive. Okay? It's just I'm not being insulting. I'm just saying that's what it is. And so now that's blown up, and now you can find me all over X saying that's weird. And that's because you're weird. In every right-wing person's post that I can find, every one of them. They're fucking weird. How do I feel? Jesus, low. Calm it down, dog. You got to give me a minute. You can't come in here just fucking just throwing them, dog. We'll get to it. Just so you guys know, I've been doing all the research on Kamala. I'm hoping I'm saying her name right now. On Kamala, after all the stuff you guys brought up that you think is a problem, and I'm just gonna tell you guys now, you fucking wrong about everything, because you're always wrong about everything. And the fact that you guys are always wrong about everything is weird. How do I feel about Joe Biden dividing our country by running on the fine people hoax? You already asked me that last week. You can't come in here. You can't ask me the same thing you asked me last week. I already said, as I told you, that obviously the quote as far as fine people on both sides is cut off. He does say something at the end that says something like there's also bad people on both sides or something like that. Like I said, I don't get into the context of that kind of shit because I think it's kind of like low level bullshit. Like I'm gonna call you out on the actual shit you do, like overturning an election. Do I think that Joe Biden is dividing the country by doing that? No, because to be honest with you, I mean, if we're gonna say that, then every single politician that has ever lived is dividing the country. And if you want to agree on that, we can agree on that. We can agree that every politician that has ever lived has used divisive rhetoric. I can agree with you on that. Was it? No, it was Saturday. Lol. I don't stream on Sundays, Doc. That's the Lord's Day. And how can he call half the country racist? Half the country is racist, dude. I grew up with fucking skinheads. Like, when people tell me there's no racism in America, I'm like, I've worked in management for 20 years. You know the number of times I've seen somebody that looks at application and they're like, Jamal, and puts it to the side. Like, if you don't think that there's systemic racism, you've never worked in a management job in your life. Like, the number of times that I've had somebody say something racist because for some reason they think gingers are, like, the people you should talk to about racism, at least that's how I feel about it. The number of times I've been with another manager working on something and had them turn around and say something racist to me, and I'm like, dude, don't fucking do that. What the fuck is wrong with you? Acting like people aren't racist is also divisive, lol, because you're marginalizing people's the things that are happening to you. But let's talk about divisive. Let's talk about divisive, lol, since we're here, because this is my X feed dedicated to the right and following all the right-wing people and the crazy shit that they say. So that way we can go over this. Let's talk about divisive. Here's Laura Lummer. So what? Kamala Harris is a nasty woman. I say that as a woman myself. Women find Kamala and her voice to be very annoying. She also can't keep her mouth away from married men, and if there's one thing women hate, it's a homewrecker. First of all, because you guys keep saying this shit, I go and look this shit up. See, I'm not like the rest of you guys where you just hear shit and regurgitate it. I hear shit and then I go look it up. It turns out that Willie Brown was married when Kamala Harris was dating him. But it also turns out that Willie Brown was separated from his wife at that time. You know who wasn't separated from their wife when they cheated on their wife? Donald Trump. Donald Trump wasn't. You know who had a 2-month-old child at home when he had sex with a porn star? Allegedly. Donald Trump did. So let's talk about division. Let's talk about alienating half the country. Lol. Let's talk about that. Yeah, that does suck, right? All right, we're meeting in the middle here. Like I said, I will agree that all politicians use divisive rhetoric. Let's go to Candace Owens. Look, I don't even have to go down multiple tweets. I just go to the next tweet out of all of these people. Let's do Candace Owens now. Brigitte Macron was born Jean-Michel Croden. I can't say. Okay, I'm not going to say these fucking names, all right? I can't pronounce French names. Who lived as a man for 30 years before transitioning. So this is a conspiracy theory that has been peddled by the right about the French president. Not even an American. Not even an American. They are peddling. Why? Because the Olympics had a opening ceremony that they didn't like. So now they are peddling conspiracy theories about Emmanuel Macron's wife and calling her a man. Do you think that's divisive? Do you think that's divisive at all? To say that that maybe a French president's wife used to be her brother? That's who they keep saying she is, her brother. Do you think that's divisive? That's the first 2 tweets. Let's go down one more. Oh, it's Cat Turd. We don't need to read Cat Turd. He says he's an old country boy. Nobody believes that shit. Let's go to this one. Matt Wallace. Holy shit, new footage from July 13 shows police had the building surrounded for over a minute before the shooter opened fire. Why didn't they take Trump off stage? Why didn't they get to the shooter? Were they ordered to stand down? Or were they just morons? Because I continue to say this. The simplest answer is normally the correct answer. And in this case, if you know anything about the police department, you know that they're not very well trained. You know that this is a small police department. You know that these are just normal-ass people. Have you ever seen, the Uvalde? Where the cops refused to go in and save those kids' lives? You know why they did? Because they're just scared-ass people. That's all it is. People, like I love police officers. My uncle was a captain of the CHP. I have a high respect for police officers. But my nephew was also murdered by police officers. And I do mean murdered. I lived in the nation's highest per capita police violence county in the country. You want to know? Look at this dipshit. What the fuck is, like, this should be the video right here. What the fuck is going on with this lady? Do you think spreading baseless conspiracy theory? Yeah, that's what I'm going with, Lo. Exactly. Lo, me and you, we're joining up, dog. We're having a meeting of the minds. Never attribute malice to what you can attribute to ignorance. There is way more ignorance than there is malice. A ton. 11 years of divisive talk is okay for MAGA, but 16 days. Exactly. That ceremony was for Greek people, lol. Do you know the number of times... I'm a big Olympics fan. I watch all the Olympics. I watched a bunch of Olympics today. The Olympics have always been big for me. I used to, like, when I was a kid, and probably a lot of people of my generation, when we were kids, we'd watch it from the opening ceremony until, like, the end, because the shit used to play all day long, and all of a sudden you become fans of, like, the weirdest sports. Like, during winter, you're, like, big into speed skating. You're like, holy shit, I love... Like, I became, like, a hockey fan for, like, 2 years because of Olympic hockey. I was, like, a Kings fan. I was, like, all into hockey and shit. This year, it's field hockey, big into... And rugby. Dude, rugby. The U.S. rugby team, women's rugby team, dope. They're dope. I don't know about the men. I haven't seen them play, but the U.S. women's rugby team, pretty dope. Anyways, have you not seen any opening ceremonies for the Olympics before? They're always weird because it's a different culture. It's a different culture. They're always weird. I remember years of watching the opening ceremonies and being like, this shit is weird. But here's the thing. If it ain't for you, it ain't for you. The French have had a culture that has embraced sexuality, that has embraced multiple genders for all of fucking time. It's just Americans. It's just us. We're looking in on their shit, and we finally get to comment on it. We're like, we don't like that. We don't like what you're doing out there. And for a bunch of people that think that no one should be in control, for a bunch of people that think everybody should have personal freedoms, y'all want to control what everybody else fucking does. So some French people want to dress up as some Greek gods and do a bunch of weird shit. And y'all got offended by that. You got offended by it. Just admit it. Just say it hurt your feelings. Just say, I was watching it and it wasn't for me and that's what made me mad. It's okay. But if you're going to watch it and then you're going to start hating motherfuckers for it, that's weird. That's why they keep calling y'all weird. Because you do weird shit. Because at the end of the day, if I were to watch that stuff, I would have been like, okay, this is trippy. I wish I was on mushrooms right now. This would have been way cooler if I was on mushrooms. And then once it was over, I would have been like, well, whatever. That was weird. And I would have went on with my fucking day. That's the problem with society nowadays, specifically in the MAGA world, is the MAGA world can't let anything happen that they don't like. Y'all became what you hate. For years, I had to hear you guys complain about how the left would complain about certain things being in videos or movies or not enough of this and not enough of that. And you guys would complain all the time. You complain, can't we have jokes anymore? Why does everything have to be about you? And now it's the opposite. Now you guys do the complaining. Now you guys are the ones complaining all the fucking time. Now you're like, I'm so mad about that. Satan's coming back. Satan's coming back. First of all, there is no fucking Satan. There is no Satan. I'm sorry, guys. I know that's like central to your life and shit like that, but there ain't no Satan. The Greeks have been doing that shit. The Romans have been doing that shit for all of time. They've been walking around with the dicks just swinging around inside of loincloths, touching each other, hanging out, getting a little too comfy, having some drinks. And I know that makes you guys all feel really weird. But like Alexander the Great, a dude that I think was amazing, a dude that did world-shattering shit, he was a little gay. He was a little gay. And that's all right. Julius Caesar, probably a little gay. And that's okay. Also, I think, all those Romans, there's a little incestual stuff going on. I'm not really down with that. But it's on them. It's not on me. Ain't my shit. MAGA does not want small. MAGA wants the smallest government, lol. MAGA wants one dude in charge, and his name is Donald Trump. I was just watching a fucking video on J.D. Vance's ass and his background and the fact that he is... Remember when you guys were against big tech like 6 months ago? Do you guys remember when you guys were all... Like, you guys change what you guys are upset about like most people change their pants every 2 days. I change my pants every 3 days because I'm not a weirdo. Like, I like to wear them till they're dirty. You know what I'm saying? But y'all change the things that you're worked up about like every 2 days. You like fucking your squirrels with shiny objects. You got no attention span, and you're just waiting for the next thing that's gonna make you mad. And you guys 6 months ago were completely against big tech. You guys were like, fucking Twitter files! And like, people, the government, and the tech companies are taking over, and fuck TikTok! Fuck TikTok! And now you're like, they're trying to take TikTok. Can you believe they're trying? Also, Elon Musk owns X. That's not a bad thing. It's actually really good. It's actually really good. Oh, Donald Trump owns True Social. Also really good. Oh, Peter Thiel is like J.D. Vance's best friend and propped him up all through his entire career. I love Peter Thiel. I love him. Oh my God. Do you guys remember that shit? Do you guys know that shit? Yes, you know. What up, Joshua? What up, Jess? I gotta say hi to everybody. Dude, I don't do Mexican accents. All right? Only redneck accents, dog. And sometimes an Italian accent might sound Mexican, though. I'm straw-manning MAGA supporters. I don't have to straw-man MAGA supporters. I'll show you videos of them, Lo. I've been doing it for 2 years. I don't need to straw-man MAGA supporters, dog. This is my fucking... I am a expert on you people. You people. Y'all motherfuckers are weird. You believe weird shit. I'm not even insulting you. I'm just telling you. You believe weird shit. Y'all believe that JFK Jr. is going to come back one day and he's going to become Donald Trump's vice president. Tell me I'm fucking wrong, because I'll find a video for you right now. Y'all believe that Joe Biden wasn't Joe Biden. You believe James Woods, a man that hates Joe Biden, is Joe Biden. I'll find you a video if you want me to. Y'all believe that this is all scripted and fake. Y'all believe that the Kansas City Chiefs were scripted to win the Super Bowl because Travis Kelce was dating Taylor Swift, which is a complete affront to me, an Eagles fan, who had to watch a 10-1 season go 8 straight games of them just playing the worst fucking football of all time. If this shit is scripted, can you get a hold of the commissioner and let them know that the next time that they want to script an NFL season, that 8 games of the Eagles playing the worst possible defense known to man is just over the fucking top? I don't know what we did. Actually, I know what we did. Actually, as Eagles fans, we probably deserved that shit. I'm not going to lie. We probably deserved it. Come on, man. Lo, do you represent all MAGA people or just one? Okay, well that's on you, dog. You obviously have some insecurities. Okay? I bet, that's not my problem. That's for you to handle. All right, I can't sit up here just making jokes the whole time. Dude. Bob, you want to talk about Kamala's record? Because I've actually been researching all the dumb shit you guys believe. I looked into the whole fucking 1,500 convictions. 45 people went to prison. And the marijuana charge was their main charge. That means they did something really fucking bad. Out of all the convictions, all 1,500 convictions, the entirety, except for 45 of them, received rehabilitation or no time at all. Y'all been lying like motherfuckers. And guess what? I know how to read. I know how to fucking read. Okay? That whole shit about her, oh, she held back evidence. That poor man. That poor man most likely did that shit. Have you read that case? And Also, that's not even the argument. I get lost in the sauce when it comes to that Kevin, what's his name? Booker? What was his last name? God damn, I can't remember his last name now. The Kevin dude. I looked in that shit. First of all, he was put in prison in 1985. I think Kamala Harris was like 16. Second, the DNA evidence that she eventually did allow them to use proved that he did that shit. And I understand. I've read the NY Times article on this gentleman. I know why people are like, holy shit, this man is innocent. It's a good article. It's got a lot of hearsay, a lot of shit that, you know, and I lived in San Bernardino for a while. I can tell you this right now, I do not trust the San Bernardino police, okay? I've had some run-ins with San Bernardino police. Not a fan. They're not, no offense, San Bernardino police. Don't come for me. But y'all ain't real good people. I'm just gonna let y'all know that, all right? No, there is no truth. There is no truth. The truth is that she said, because do you want me to show you the evidence she had, Lo? The evidence that the person that gave those overalls to the police was high on hallucinogens, that she said that her boyfriend that actually did it while she was doing it, the reason she knew that was because she had a fucking vision, Lo? A fucking vision? That's your fucking evidence? Is a lady that had a fucking vision? Have you read any of the shit you believe? God damn it. Y'all drive me nuts with this shit you regurgitate and you never look into. If you look at the evidence that Kamala Harris would have been privy to as the state attorney for California, you would know why. You would know why. Do you want me to play? Would you like me to play? Oh, you said borders are. Good job. You're on that X shit. Okay, so do you like deportation, Lo? As a Mexican gentleman, do you like deportation? Yeah, I think it's crazy to squirm on it too, because if I was her, I'd be running on that shit, because I'm about to tell you why in a second when you answer the question to the affirmative. Do you like deportations? Good. Then you should want to know that Joe Biden, do you think, hold on, wait. Do you think Donald Trump did the best job? Do you think he has the highest deportation numbers out of any president? Come on, regurgitate that shit for me so I can own you in a second. Come on, lol, don't Google it. Come on. Because you about to get owned twice in one conversation. And this is about to be fucking amazing. Do you think Donald Trump had the highest deportation numbers? Let's just keep scrolling while he... No, like I said, answer the question, Lo. Don't be a fucking politician, dog. Do you think Donald Trump has the highest deportation numbers? So here's another one from the people that are not divisive. 97% of people do not know that Osama bin Laden was a CIA agent in the 1980s. Here's Laura Lummer threatening a tech company that works for Kamala Harris, or doesn't work for Kamala Harris, my bad, that is working with Kamala Harris, supposedly. This is a Laura Lummer thing. You can't believe anything this fucking lady says. And she's threatening them to get a hold of a Texas attorney, and if they don't cancel their services for her, that she will expose them. That's not divisive at all. Here's the Act Bloopy. We can get into that shit. Okay, so first of all, here we're going to skip the ads so you don't miss this. First of all, no, Obama has the highest deportation numbers. Do you know the difference between deportations and removals, Lo? Because I'm betting you don't know. I'm betting you don't know the difference between deportation and removals. I bet you don't know what an encounter is. Because at this point, guys, guess what? Joe Biden's numbers are set to be on par or to eclipse Donald Trump's deportation numbers. If I was Kamala Harris, I'd be shitting on all of you that are calling me the border czar. All of them. Because you're not right about Donald Trump having the most deportations. That was Obama. And Obama removed more people from inside the country than any president. And Joe Biden is on pace right now to meet or exceed. And see, I can prove all that. But you can't prove anything you think because you've never actually read it. You've just been told it and you're regurgitating it. If I was Kamala Harris, I'd be all about telling y'all motherfuckers. I'd be like, yep. Yep. Yeah, so yeah, I agree, dude. You know, I'm not gonna sit up here and a lot of what Obama did, I wasn't a fan of. But let's talk a little bit more about what you guys talk about. A few other things you probably don't know. Illegals. Okay, so you guys continue to confuse someone that is undocumented with somebody that is illegal, and you do that on purpose because you want people to be upset. You like to use terminology. You like to use descriptions of people that makes them sound bad. Illegals. Those are undocumented people. In America can get bank loans, mortgages, insurance, driver's license, free healthcare, and in-state college tuition. Do you know why? Do you know why? Oh, don't ban lol. He's my conversationalist. Don't ban him. Timing him out is okay. Don't ban him. I gotta have people that push against me. It's okay. We'll give you 300 seconds to think about that. The reason that they can get bank loans, the reason they can get mortgages, the reason that they can get insurance, the reason they can get driver's license, the reason they can get free healthcare, and the reason that they can get in-state college tuition is because we want them working. It's because they're not illegal. They're undocumented. They've been caught at the border by going through the ports of entry that they're supposed to. Caught. Which is fucking stupid that we even say that. Okay? And then they are given a court date to talk more about their citizenship. The reason that they can do all of those things while they are here in America, which, by the way, they cannot vote. All these fucking people saying they can vote are full of shit. They cannot vote. The reason they can do those things is because we don't want a bunch of people that are just living in our country, living on the fucking dole. No, we want them getting jobs. We want them buying houses. We want them to be able to drive. We want them to do all of these fucking things. Why the fuck would we let people into our country and then be like, you can't do any of those things? That's literally how shit would fail. I cannot believe this is the argument these fucking people try to make. Jesus. It's weird. It's fucking weird. I love me some undocumented people too, because they make the country. Here's some more weird shit. There were guys with their dicks out in front of children. Bearded drag queens everywhere. I wasn't sure if I was watching the Olympics or a local school board meeting. This is a guy. Everybody, this is a man who made a movie called Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo. The irony of this fucking dipshit, Rob Schneider, saying this stupid shit. I'm telling you, COVID broke these people. It broke them. And maybe not. You know, maybe with Rob Schneider, he's not really the funniest dude. He's an actor more than he is a comedian. Maybe Adam Sandler wasn't tossing him any more bones. Maybe he wasn't paying him anymore. I don't know. Maybe this is the only way he can still be relevant. But nobody had the dick out. All right? Look, was it for me? Was it something that I was like, dude, this is my shit? I don't know that rocking part, like where the dudes with the fucking guitars. That shit was pretty dope. And the fire. Like, that was for me. All the other stuff wasn't for me. It's okay. It's not like, that's not my culture. In fact, if you want to do my culture, you got to bring out like Tupac, like a hologram of Tupac. There needs to be like 2 drive-bys. My culture was not the best culture. Maybe have a barbecue. Fucking, that's what I'm talking about. Block party. You guys remember block parties? That shit. Like, it's okay. It's not for you, dog. Not everything has to be for you. Sometimes shit was made for other people to enjoy, and that's okay. You don't like that shit? Go get some popcorn. Go get a drink. Fucking have some tequila, dog. Have a laugh. Fucking joke around. Like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I miss the fucking conservatives that used to get riled up and just make fun of it. Like, that's weird. I'm gonna use this word a lot tonight. Weird. Because they're weird. I miss the conservatives that used to just get mad and make fun of shit. Now it's like they just get mad and they just like cry like bitches. Like, can we go back to you guys just making bad jokes? I'm sorry that we triggered y'all. I'm sorry that we got there. All right, let's watch some videos. Let me say hi to everybody because I've been ranting. Sorry, Lo. What up, Mr. Monkey? What up, Joshua? I think I already said what up, Joshua. That one girl. What's up? Let's see who else is in the chat. Felicity. What's up, Felicity? Yeah, I think so, Felicity. That's it in my book. That's going in the book. It's going in the book. Bob, I don't know if I said hi to you when I said that you're a dumbass, but hi. Shut up, Bob. That's I gotta say shut the fuck up, Bob, at least once every stream. I accidentally scrolled over live under you, and it was a lady in the Philippines dancing in her. And you came back? Why'd you come back here? Mike. Oh, thank you, Jessica. I was like, dude, did you get banned again? What up, Dark? What up, Bucket? Are you in live chat, Bucket? Make sure you're in live chat. Why did YouTube told me to scroll to a Filipino lady? I don't know. You were shadow banned. When the mod, sorry, dude, you fuck around too much and the mods will ban you. I don't control the mods. I am complete freedoms. My mods, they do what they want. I do tell them not to be too harsh. How many Trump supporters does it take to change a light bulb? I don't know, Mike. You tell me. What up, Dustin? She dances to no music. I don't know. Maybe she hears her own. Maybe she hears her own music. All right, let's get off of this. Let's get off the X feed. And let's go over here because I saw a couple videos that we wanted to watch, and this was specific to the topic that we're talking about. My man Adam Mockler, this man had like 70,000. What was it? 70,000 subscribers like maybe 5 months ago. 314K subscribers. Adam Mockler is killing it. Killing it. It's the CIA. Dude, no, the CIA is always fucking, they're always blacking me out. That's why I don't have 200,000 subscribers, lol. Okay? It's because I'm being shadow banned. I think YouTube hears shadow banned and they like swerve towards me and they're like, shadow banned. It's weird. All right, you guys got to argue in chat for a minute because if I just sit up here and talk, half the chat gets mad if I talk, half the chat gets mad if I don't talk. It's hard to please all of you guys, so we're gonna try and keep it fitty-fitty. And we're gonna play Adam Mockler's video here where he talks about how weird people are. Okay, here we go.
Rudy Giuliani is the type of guy to steal your wallet at a party and then help you look for it after. Just the worst of the worst, absolute scum, and he has ruined the lives of multiple people. He's a weirdo. I wanted to take this moment to take a step back and just...
I like that it's within the first 15 seconds he uses the word weirdo. I'd like to point out that like a year and a half ago, when I was watching these videos, and I was going, these motherfuckers are so weird. They're the weirdest people ever. They say the weirdest shit. They believe these crazy conspiracy theories. I would literally, for low, all of you guys, just so you guys know, just so you know, I would have left-wing liberals that would come into my chat, and they go, hey, dude, that's not cool. These people are obviously mentally ill, and it's not okay to make fun of them. And back in the day, my defense used to be, I am not willing to let the inmates burn down the asylum, okay? And like they can be in the asylum, that's okay. They can say crazy shit to each other, that's okay. But I'm not going to let them burn the goddamn place down. I live here. And I had to argue. I had left-wing liberal subscribers that were like, I'll never watch this show again. You're mean to crazy people. And guess what they're all doing now? Yeah, I was fucking ahead of the curve. Yeah, now everybody else is grifting off the shit I was doing. Adam. So I'm pointing
For
that out.
after, just the worst of the worst, absolute scum.
Tired?
And he has
Tired's a
ruined the
mod.
lives of multiple people. He's a
Where's Tired at? Is Tired in chat? Tired's a mod. Dude, I've heard about Portland. The right doesn't have a totality of all the weird people. I'm never going to say that. There's weird people everywhere. I'll look at it after this. Yeah, she should have a mod. She should have a wrench. I don't know why she wouldn't have a wrench. I'll check it out. You know what it is? Isn't her name Blue? Or something? I bet you it looks like she has a wrench. Okay, I'll look at it whenever I have a chance. Oh, she doesn't want to mod. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, it's a cursed place to pause. Poor Adam. Poor Adam. One more time. Sorry. All right, I can't talk to you guys.
The worst of the worst, absolute scum, and he has ruined the lives of multiple people. He's a weirdo. I wanted to take this moment to take a step back and just highlight how everybody in the MAGA movement is an absolute weirdo, just a sick freak. All of the people that Donald Trump surrounds himself with, whether it's Rudy Giuliani or Mike Lindell or Laura Lummer or Alina Haba, they are all just weirdos. And with each of these people, I am about to present you evidence for how weird they are. I want to take you on a hypothetical tour through Mar-a-Lago, what you'd see if you opened those doors. Now, the first thing you'd see is Rudy Giuliani with his arm awkwardly around this woman right here. And keep in mind, this is not long after Rudy Giuliani ruined the life of another black woman named Ruby Freeman, Georgia election worker terrorized by threats after 2020 election. This is all because Rudy Giuliani couldn't stop himself from just lying about election fraud, just making up election fraud and terrorizing a poor woman. So the goal to then wrap his arm around somebody in such an awkward manner at a party is terrible. But after you see Rudy Giuliani, you turn the corner at Mar-a-Lago, and next you see Laura Lummer and Donald Trump. Now, Laura Lummer is a well-known white supremacist conspiracy theorist who has just said absolute vile stuff about VP Harris, about every single Democrat in the book, and Donald Trump publicly associates with her. Donald Trump shoots her fist pumps at the RNC and at every single rally that she attends. For example, this really quick tweet from Laura Lummer from just last week says, it's time for Republicans to start talking about Kamala Harris's sexual history and the reason why she doesn't have any children. I'm willing to bet she's had so many abortions that she damaged her uterus. I won't even go on. I think you understand how disgusting this person is. Not only disgusting, but weird. Donald Trump freely associates with some of the weirdest people in the country, and that is what MAGA is. I say this a lot, but if Donald Trump gets a second term, he's not going to appoint a Mike Pence, somebody who's boring and follows the rules. He's going to appoint the weirdest people possible who say stuff like this on a routine basis. If you think that this is something extreme for Laura Lummer, she says stuff like this basically every day. So after you see these two just being weird together, you turn the corner and you see Mike Lindell and Ted Cruz. Mike Lindell is for some reason a waiter, probably because he is strapped for cash. Election denier and My Pillow guy Mike Lindell confirms he's out of money, can't pay legal bills. Mike Lindell has blown up on me personally. There's a video on my YouTube channel of him yelling at me saying, I'm a former crackhead, I'm the American dream on steroids.
It is pretty amazing. Didn't Mike Lindell ask somebody like in the crowd the other day whether or not somebody had seen somebody die of crack or something like that? Like, it was like that part in the Half Baked when he's like, "You ever suck dick for weed?" I did, or I seen him. What was I? There, suck dick for crack. Oh, dude, you have to admit. All right, even the left-wing people can play this. Like, who do you think? Do you think there's a, like, give me one person on the left that's as weird, like that hangs in the circle of Biden and Harris, that hangs around in the circle of Biden and Harris. Give me one person
that's as weird as Mike Lindell, Laura Lummer. And give me people that have been cucked as hard as Ted Cruz. Or fucking, what's the other guy? Marco Rubio. Didn't he call Marco Rubio's wife ugly? Mitch McConnell. How many people in the Republican Party has Donald Trump called their wife ugly? How many times is it? We need a counter. We need a counter on the number of people in the Republican Party that have had their wife dissed by Donald Trump. Donald Trump can't even fight. He said that in that Jake Paul. That was like his one moment of honesty. Jake Paul was like, "You ever been in a fight?" And he was like, "No. Probably wouldn't be good at it." I was like, holy shit. He was actually honest about that. The only reason he was honest about it was probably somebody would be like, "Okay, let's fight." Like, I'm pretty sure if Ted Cruz wanted to fight Donald Trump, I think Ted Cruz could take him. Or Marco Rubio, he's a relatively younger man. Stand the fuck up. Y'all can take him. How you gonna let your wife get called ugly? Like, stand the fuck up and fight him. Somebody say crack. What up, fatty? Come on. Give me one person. Give me one person on the left that hangs out with Biden Harris that looks anything like the craziness that is on the right. No, Lo, we have to have fun sometimes, too. It's all about balance. You got to talk about policies, and then you got to make jokes, too.
Steroids. It's like this guy is on crack and steroids. He is an absolute weirdo. Ted Cruz is a spineless freak. He leaves Texas when Texas needs him most. He is constantly promoting his terrible podcast.
These guys are fucking
and these
nuts.
two men don't just kiss the ring of Donald
Carville.
Trump. They suck the ring off
Carville's,
of Donald Trump's finger. I mean, hell, Mike Lindell literally bankrupted himself. Leave a like on this video if you appreciate what I do. Next, you see Alina Haba and Marjorie Taylor Greene. Two despicable human beings. One is a Better Call Saul.
Here's one of the things, though. Alina Haba is still in her first stages. Alina Haba is like, when you find a Pokemon, and the Pokemon is still like, what is it? It's like Charizard, right? What's the original, like, one? Pikachu or something? It's just like a Pika, and then it becomes a Pikachu. I don't know anything about Pokemon, so I don't know why the fuck I'm trying to make this analogy. You guys know what I'm talking about, okay? She is in her beginning stages of being a Pokemon. She has not evolved into her MAGA personality yet. So the best is still to come. Okay, Alina Haba just got in the game. She has not even reached her full potential. She hasn't even reached like her mid potential. What you see from Alina Haba right now is just the beginning. Okay? Marjorie Taylor Greene, on the other hand, she came into the game fucking crazy. Talking about Jewish space lasers and shit like that, dude. Like, that lady is beyond insane. Marjorie Taylor Greene, nobody likes you. Nobody likes Marge.
Saul Goodman type lawyer, and
in
the
her
other
Laura
one is
Trump
just a
face, or what's the
conspiracy
Kimberly
theorist who's
Guilfoyle?
always floating the most absurd
Also,
stuff. This article
when
says
Kimberly
in
Guilfoyle
2020,
first came
Georgia
into the fold,
Republican
too.
Marjorie Taylor Greene became the first open supporter of QAnon to be elected to the United States Congress, despite criticism from Republicans, Democrats,
Level
and
one.
the media for her belief in dangerous conspiracy theories. Greene remains a prominent national figure. This kind of just proves my entire point. Donald Trump only surrounds himself with the weirdest of weird people. You walk into Mar-a-Lago, you immediately see Rudy Giuliani. You see Laura Lummer. That is a jump scare. You see Mike Lindell and Ted Cruz. You see Marjorie Taylor Greene spewing out conspiracy theories. You turn the corner, you see these two people. This is not edited. Republicans constantly rail against drag queens. Republicans constantly strip rights away from LGBTQ individuals. But if these two ladies want to modify their body, apparently Trump doesn't care because they are MAGA. Now, I don't care what anybody does. I don't care if these women want to modify their body. I don't care if trans people want to modify their body. None of it is my business. Do what you want to do to be happy, but don't modify your body and then strip rights away from other people, or just vote to strip rights away from other people. I mean, they are mingling with Donald Trump, who passes anti-trans legislation. Him and the MAGA movement as a whole are just transphobic. Next, you turn the corner and you see whatever this is. And keep in mind, MAGA has been freaking out about like nudity at the Olympics, even though it's not really nudity, yet they have this.
I've always said, though, like, rich white people wish they were hip-hop. Rich white people always wish they were hip-hop, right? Like, this is some hip-hop shit. This is like some story. Like, now I had this chick, man, I paid her money. She just hung out like a mermaid. It was fucking dope. She just sat on the clamshell the whole fucking time, dog. Like, she was just there. Like, how much did I pay her? I paid her a lot of money. Like, this is some shit you only see in a rap video or at a rich white person's house, okay? There's no fucking way that you are walking into a middle-class house party and there is a woman on a seashell in a mermaid suit just hanging the fuck out. And I don't care how much money you pay me, I never stop talking. So, like, I don't care how much money you pay me, I couldn't do that. They'd be like, you have to just sit on the seashell. I'm like, I gotta pee. Yeah, but we saw you talking to those people. Yeah, one of them asked me a question. I was answering questions. They're asking about how cool my tail was. How dope this suit is. Also, why am I a man and a mermaid? I wouldn't be a very good mermaid.
This at Mar-a-Lago. This was at
Malibu's Most
Mar-a-Lago.
Wanted.
Apparently, it's a mermaid and merman poolside show of some sort. I mean, these women barely have any clothes on, and that's fine. We don't care. We're liberals. But Donald Trump is the one who would freak the hell out if that ever happened. Then at Mar-a-Lago, watching that mermaid show is this person. People wearing diapers. Just a big crowd of MAGA supporters wearing diapers. These are the people that say, stop calling us weird. It's so mean. We are not weird. And that is a new offensive tactic from the Democrats, is to call MAGA supporters weird. Just sick people, and I think I've thoroughly proven that.
Okay, Adam Mockler. Once again, I don't know what you're talking about. This is new. I've been doing this for 2 years. 2 years. I get no respect. No respect.
So far, I mean, a lot of the people I've shown in this video
Lol,
would
if the
actually
mods
be
ban
in
you,
Donald
dog.
Trump's cabinet if he wins a second term.
That's on you.
And I'm doing a hypothetical tour through Mar-a-Lago, but then after you turn the corner,
Where did
you see
mermaid
the
babies
Q
come from?
shaman,
That's a
this
good
guy
question.
who served time in jail, and all MAGA Republicans think he's some sort of martyr. Sorry, and this says, "Stop calling us weird." That is all they say. Stop calling us weird, and then they go do stuff like this, and they defend stuff like this, which is even worse. I mean, how does this lady justify this to her kids? It was wild.
man.
Her shirt says "Real men wear
Poor
diapers."
buddy.
Shout out to Ben Mycelis over at Midas Touch. He's the one that actually started the Trump diaper
man.
meme, and then Republicans actually embraced it because
Y'all
they are
fuck around
weird.
with them
The
mods,
Wont
dude.
Pack Down Pack released an ad that says these guys are weird, and it blew up. Watch.
Hi, Mark Barden at Sandy Hook Promise here.
Oh,
When the gunman
nope.
shot at
Not right
Us
now,
MAGA
Mark. Sorry,
Republicans
buddy.
banned abortion, but that's just the start.
It's just the start.
If Trump gets elected, we want the government involved in all aspects of your sex life.
This isn't reality. It's not reality. Maybe they're right. Oh my god, it's so weird. Oh my god, hold on. Oh, what did I do? Shit, I wasn't looking. Oh god, I gotta find that. We gotta find that. Oh Christ, what did I do? Okay, we'll go back to here.
The Q shaman, this guy who served time in jail, and all MAGA Republicans think he's some sort of martyr. Sorry.
Dude likes
this
dolphins.
says, "Stop calling us weird." That is all they say. Stop calling us weird, and then they go do stuff like this, and they defend stuff like this, which is even worse. I mean, how does this
Weirder.
lady justify this to her kids? It is just wild. Her shirt says "Real men wear diapers." Shout out to Ben Mycelis over at Midas Touch. He's the one that actually started the Trump diaper meme, and then Republicans actually embraced it because they are weird. The Wont Pack Down Pack released an ad that says these guys are weird, and it blew up. Watch.
Us MAGA Republicans banned abortion, but that's just the start.
It's just the start.
If Trump gets elected, we want the government involved in all aspects of your sex life.
Way more involved.
Way more involved.
When you have sexual intercourse, it should be illegal to use contraception. No pills, no condoms.
Your genitals are reserved for procreation.
If you freeze 12 eggs, you should be required to have 12 babies, or else you're a serial killer. And I'm definitely not a serial killer.
Are you?
My son monitors my porn usage to make sure I'm not self-pleasured.
Mike
Just
Johnson.
like Speaker of the House Mike Johnson.
Oh,
That's true.
God.
You can look it up.
Sorry, Lil, I can't find you.
Yeah.
I
You
do.
have to wait.
It's normal for your son to do that.
You should have a family member monitor your porn use too.
Because pleasuring yourself is very, very naughty.
I'm voting in November.
This is an uncomfortable watch, I can't lie, but shout out to Won't Pack Down. If they run this ad, that is going to do well. Also, Speaker of the House Mike
Dude.
Johnson actually did that. I should have put him in my Mar-a-Lago tour. I don't know
That's
how
so
I forgot him. He's an
amazing.
actual MAGA politician. To wrap this up, a Rolling Stone article highlights Dems go all in on blasting Trump and MAGA as, quote, sick freaks who everyone hates. After years of trying to stay above the fray, trying to follow Michelle Obama's we go high, they go low, Democrats are going after Trump, J.D. Vance, and MAGA
There you go.
Republicans for
Jess
being
got you,
weird,
Lowell.
and I think we are absolutely
thank you to
justified
Jess,
in doing
Lowell.
so. I mean, weird is far from the worst thing these people are. They're insurrectionist supporters. Some of them are insurrectionists. I'm looking at Donald Trump. Democrats insist they are learning from their mistakes and are ready to attack Donald Trump-led Democrats insist they are learning from their mistakes and are
Let's tell
ready
ya.
to attack the Donald Trump-led 2024 ticket full bore and hit below the belt if they feel like it. Quote,
John.
shaking off the stink of when they go low, we go high, like I just said, is how one Democratic operative put it. And I will wrap this video up, but I just want to say, I think it is
Dude, I'm telling you, like, so, I told you guys last week, Richard O Jetta followed me on X, and I was like the coolest thing ever. I just got one of the dudes that goes on Destiny's show. He's a lawyer. I think his name's Pisco. I want to talk to him about that dude that's on death row if I can get a hold of him, because I want to ask him a couple things about it, specifically because the case itself is super crazy. The part that people are blaming on Kamala is absolutely ridiculous. She even, to the point where people are like, she withheld evidence that would have set him free. Bullshit. Go look it up. The evidence that she was shown by San Bernardino police by you know the from the trial, because the trial happened like 25 years before she was in office, was like insane. It's insane. If you read the evidence and stuff against the guy, it's we can even take a look at it on stream if you guys want sometimes. It's a fucking insane story, and it's crazy because the New York Times, I think in 2016 or 17, because he's had some like 10 or 12 appeals of his death, his execution. In the 2017, when he appealed and she was the district attorney, she was privy to the evidence presented to her in the trial. And that evidence is damning. Now, the question is whether or not that evidence was planted, but that has nothing to do with Kamala Harris. That has everything to do with the San Bernardino police. And to her credit as well, when the New York Times published their article, which shows dissenting information, which I don't know which one is true. That's why I'd like to talk to this guy. She actually got a hold of the New York Times, said, oh my God, I think I've made a mistake. I'm really sorry. I'm going to allow that DNA evidence to be introduced. Unfortunately for that gentleman, the DNA evidence was then introduced, and it confirmed that he was, you know, the killer. So, you know, like this whole idea that she withheld evidence against this poor innocent guy. First of all, and I'm not one of these people that says because you committed one crime that means you committed these other. But that man had escaped from a prison in Pennsylvania. He had allegedly sexually assaulted a 15-year-old on his way to where he was going, forced her into a car. And allegedly, when he had, after the alleged crime that he was found guilty of, was again accused of sexual assault in Mexico where he was hiding. So, like I said, I keep getting lost every time I talk about this because the case itself is fucking insane. It's insane. And so I get lost talking about the case itself, but to focus down on what people are saying, they're saying, oh, Kamala withheld this evidence and it's kept this guy. No, she did not. She allowed the DNA to happen. She is privy to evidence that 100% showed that he was guilty. She was not privy to the evidence to the contrary. When she was given that evidence, she did allow it to happen, and then he was proven guilty again. You can't blame that on Kamala. Kamala has been actually insanely progressive, and I did not know this. I spent 6 hours yesterday going through the Wayback Machine and articles about Kamala. And dude, like, I feel fucking gaslighted by people that I enjoy, by Biden, by Tulsi Gabbard in that debate. And I realized this, and I'm getting better at this, understanding that politicians just attack each other ruthlessly because they know we'll never go look up the information. We're just the people that stand in the crowd and go, oh, shit, owned, and never actually go and see if it was an own. So I'm getting better at that now. I looked up all the convictions, all that shit, all fucking not true. Out of the 1,500 that weren't even her, not all of them were her jurisdiction. Over 7 years, 1,500 convictions, 45 had prison time, and it was because they had fucking felony dealing charges. Somebody on here the other said she could have just dropped the charges. No, you can't just drop charges. I had to go through and look at what a prosecutor is allowed to and not allowed to do. And it turns out, no, prosecutors can't just drop fucking charges. You have to have evidentiary reasons. You got to have witnesses reasons. You got to have problems with the way that the investigation was done. You have to have reasons. You can't just go, that's a weed crime, I'm not going to prosecute that. She also created a fucking a program that allowed people that got that were arrested for minor drug offenses, non-violent or non-gang offenses, to enroll in this program, which is now modeled across the United States of America, that as long as they got a high school education, either GED or diploma, depending, because this is for people between the ages of 18 and 30, if they got a high school education, got a job, if they're a parent, they had to take parenting classes, they had to do 220 hours of community service. If they did all of that and graduated out of the program, they would have their record expunged, and they would be released without any time. And out of the 200 people that joined that, something like 10% of those people, God damn it, when they commit the crime again, I can't remember right now, but they didn't commit a crime again. That's 10%. The normal percentage of people that go to jail that then commit a second crime after they are released is something like 53%. So she brought it down to 10% of that program. That program is now being modeled across the United States of America. She's actually extremely progressive. She's against the death penalty. I'm pro-death penalty in certain cases. She's totally against the death penalty, even including, this is why the police won't back her up. Even when a police officer was killed, even when an MS-13 guy killed people, even though she was against those people, she still didn't give them the death penalty. Like, I didn't know. So when Kamala was debating, I liked her because of her debate style. I thought that she held her own, but I had the same reasons that other people did, right? The same biases, because I'm from California. I didn't like this, I didn't like that. I'd heard all this shit and I never went and looked it up. But now, as I get further and further into looking into her stuff, there's a couple things that I'm like, I don't know about that. Like I said, the whole Willie Brown bullshit. Thank you. Recidivism. Thank you, Lowell. See? Good job bringing Lowell back. You helped me out. The whole Willie Brown thing. I was like, oh, yeah, she got it. It's like, God, I'm an idiot. Like I said, she dated Willie Brown for 1 year before he became the mayor of San Francisco. Before he became, just so you know. Before he became. While he was separated from his wife. And then 9 years later ran talking shit about him to become the district attorney of San Francisco. Okay? Like, this whole idea that the only reason she's ever succeeded is because of Willie Brown. Did she have a hand up? Hell yeah, she had a hand up. She did what any person would do. But to say that the only reason she's been successful is because of Willie Brown is completely bullshit. Complete and utter bullshit. And I am so pissed off that I myself was one of the people, probably, 4 years ago when the debates were happening, 4 years ago, that was like, yeah, I can't believe that she did that stuff. Like, I was one of those people. And that actually really irritates me, not with anybody else. It's nobody else's fault. It's my fault. That's my fault. We need more personal accountability. We need to say more often that when we hear stuff that we should be looking into it. One of the things I did with that the dude on death row was I looked at the evidence from the trial including a crazy statement from the kid that survived. God, like I said, I can get lost in this case. It's some true crime shit. Okay, the kid, he's like in his like 30s or early 20s talking about it. Oh my God, it's so fucking insane. But I looked at the evidence from that was brought to trial, and then I looked at the New York Times article, which was the other side of it. Like, I'm mad at myself for not doing better. Not doing better. Thank you, God from heaven. I need a God from heaven. Yeah, I'm voting for Kamala, dude. I'm voting for Kamala. 100%. The more I read, the better it is. Dude, Cope Harder, you're weird, dog. DB, you're a weird motherfucker, just so you know. All the shit you believe is weird. Y'all believe that JFK Jr. is coming back. You're fucking weird. Alright. We're done watching this weird-ass video. Trump will be in prison, dog. See me in 2025. None of you gonna admit you believe that shit. You're all gonna act like you don't, because you know we think you're weird. Let's watch some J6 shit. Let's trigger you guys for reals. Hey, you guys, was J6 an insurrection? Go ahead. I know you guys think it's not an insurrection. You guys both think that it's an think it wasn't an insurrection, huh? Come on. Come on. Come on!
This is a bombshell story
in
every sense of the word.
Drink.
On January 5th.
You have to drink if there's technical difficulties, and there's my headphones are messed up, so you have to drink. This is the way this channel works, and unless you're under 21, you're not allowed to drink. You have to drink Kool-Aid, because that's what MAGA supporters drink is Kool-Aid, just so you guys know. Up, come on. You can do it. No, it was not. I knew it. Dude, I should have made you guys watch the debate tonight. Standing in the Capitol. Yeah, that's all they did. That's all they did was they just stood in the Capitol. That's it. That's it. They just stood in the Capitol. I felt bad for the one dude that stole the podium, though. He's a dipshit, though. Like, I called it. I fucking called it because I've broken a lot of laws in my life. So I was, like, watching the dude, the memes and shit come, because the memes are fire. The memes are fucking fire. And the meme of the dude walking with the podium and waving and smiling, I was like, that man he's never committed a crime. That dumb white man right there has never actually committed a crime and been held accountable for his choices. He's probably committed crimes, but he uses his white card to get out of it. I know about the white card. I'm white. Don't fucking deny it exists, you little bitches, okay? But I saw him with that podium, and I was like, that motherfucker does not know that he's going to get prosecuted for that shit. He getting prosecuted. That's breaking the law. Or you don't just get to be like, I thought it was funny. Believe me, I've tried the defense before. I thought it was funny. I broke your mom's cherry too, DB. Also broke your anal cherry as well, dog. Wait, what am I arguing with? What do you think? What do you think a bunch of people breaking windows? What do you think a bunch of people breaking windows to enter a building is? Answer me that, lol. If I broke the window to your house to get into your house while, let's say, trying to kill like your brother-in-law. Let's say your brother-in-law, because that's kind of who Hang Mike Pence is, right? Because that's his name now, Hang Mike Pence. If I were to break a window, come on, and I'm waiting for you to say there's FBI. There's FBI in there. And if you were doing it to halt or stall, so they're not being prosecuted. You know that, right? They're not being prosecuted for insurrection. You understand that, right, lol? Like, you know that the people that were found guilty in the January 6th trials were not found guilty for insurrection. You know that, right? Like, you do know that, right? Let's watch some J6
of
while we talk about
2021, a MAGA congressman tried to help
Why did they
Donald
go to
Trump's
jail?
fake
Lol.
electors
You just said
flip
it.
the results of a Democratic election.
Lol. Dog. They broke and enter into a Capitol building. They vandalized shit. As a person that has done that dumb shit before in my life, those are all things against the law. And looking back at a younger, angry Ginger, I'm like, you deserved everything that happened to you for doing that dumb shit. You broke laws. Yeah, no. What Donald Trump did was inciting an insurrection. An insurrection is the unlawful halting or impeding government processes. What is the certification of an election? Is the certification of an election a government process? No, I wasn't breaking into the Capitol building. I did not incite people to break into a Capitol building to stall the certification of the election. That's not brainwashed. That's literally reading the law. Lol, I'm reading the law. I love how you guys are like, I'm brainwashed, but you've never actually read this shit. You're like, I heard some dude talking about it, and I know the truth. You're the one that's brainwashed. Does that sound weird to you? Does it ever sound weird to you that you're arguing with a person who's like looked up all of this shit and actually read it? I'm not taking this from another person's point of view, but you're taking something people told you, and then you're coming into my channel and you're telling me I'm brainwashed. Do you think that's weird at all? Even a little bit? Like, don't you think you should maybe look into that or get a therapist? I think you need a therapist. No, I can't pay for your therapist. I don't have that much money. I will donate into a fund to get all of you guys, all the MAGA supporters. Look, I love you guys. I love you guys. You guys are Americans. Even though every once in a while you guys are dipshits, you're still Americans. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys, and I want you guys to come back to reality. And I've said this before on this channel. When you guys leave the cult, when Donald Trump eventually leaves you guys, because that's what every domestic abuser does, is he abuses the shit out of his victims, and then he moves on to new ones, okay? So after Donald Trump gets done abusing you guys and moves to Russia, where he can freely abuse whoever he wants for Daddy Putin, okay? I'm going to be here for you guys with a cigarette if you smoke. Maybe you don't smoke, okay? And a hug. I'm going to hug you guys on your way out of the cult. It's like when you get out of prison, dog. When you get out of prison, your homie's got to be there with a cigarette waiting for you and a hug, right? Like dap you up and then give you a hug, give you a cigarette and shit. Like that's what's going to happen. I'm going to be here for you guys. No matter how much hateful, mean shit you guys said, how much hateful, mean shit I said to you guys, I still love you guys. And I'm going to be sitting here. I'm going to be waiting for you. When you guys come out, I'm going to give you a hug. I'm going to go, let's get better. Let's get better. But then you're going to be on parole, just so you guys know. Just like getting out of prison, y'all still going to be on parole. And if you do some dumb shit again, you're going back. It's not them, lol. Jesus Christ. It's not them. They're not the ones being prosecuted for insurrection. That's why they weren't held in account as insurrection. It's Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the person who is on trial for the possible attempt at stalling the certification of an election. How many times do I have to say it? None of those people are. Come on, buddy. Come on, bud. Look at you. Now you're going off. You're like, oh, now I'm talking about Joe Biden. You guys can never stay on task. You never stay on task. If I compare the numbers between Trump and Biden, it's not even close. Yeah, you're right. Biden was a much better president by like 1 million fucking percentage points. Yeah. Donald Trump doesn't have policies. Donald Trump has like 3 policies. His 3 policies were funding NASA, which I was like, good job, buddy. His other was tariffs, and his other was gigantic tax cuts for the rich. That's it. That's it. Only thing you have against Trump is insurrection. Yeah, that's, even if that was, if the only thing I had against Donald Trump was an insurrection, I'm pretty sure that'd be enough. We've already gone over this, lol. Biden's numbers are as good as Donald Trump's. And that's with Donald Trump didn't have foreign policy. What are you talking about? Only foreign policy. Jeez, you guys are so all over the place. You guys are like fucking, like I said, you change your opinions like people change pants.
Except for you guys do it more. I need a different analogy. You guys change your opinions more than people change their pants. Why do you think there's a place called Trump Heights in the Golan Heights? Why do you think that? Do you think that in any way, do you think the annexation of the Golan Heights by Israel in, what was it, the 60s, 67 when that happened? And the fact that no country has ever accepted that was Israel's territory, except for like one third world country, as Donald Trump would call them, a shithole. One shithole country, Donald Trump's language, not mine, had agreed that that was Israel's territory. No other legitimate country in the world had recognized the Golan Heights as being Israel's territory. Donald Trump decided that he would recognize the Golan Heights. And now there's a gigantic fucking sign that says Trump Heights on it in the Golan Heights. Why do you think Donald Trump recognized the Golan Heights as being Israel's territory? Do you think it's because it was a quid pro quo? Do you think it's because maybe they told him that they would put up a gigantic fucking Trump sign that says Trump Heights? Do you think that in any way, shape, or form made the Middle East, I don't know, a little more unsettled? Do you think that the Abraham Accords that Donald Trump pushed through and was doing all these backdoor dealings with, do you think that was actually good for the Middle East? Do you think that Saudi Arabia was ever going to actually join the peace pact? Do you think Iran was ever going to allow Saudi Arabia to join the peace pact? Do you think Hezbollah, which is funded by Iran, was ever going to allow that to happen? No, it wasn't. And that's why you guys are morons. Because you guys can't think past the things people tell you. Nobody told me any of these things. I did my own fucking research. The thing that you guys constantly complain people don't do. Yet you don't do. I went down one to the other, 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 to the other. To come to the conclusion that the Abraham Accords weren't good for the Middle East. Because they were already doing trade behind the scenes. Because Israel and Jordan were already performing trade behind the scenes. All that did was make Iran go, oh yeah, you guys gonna sign a peace accord? I don't fucking think so. That's not in my interest. But you guys don't know anything about Iran. Because you're morons. Biden invited the illegals. Dude, are you on the border now? I already told you. What happened to Senator Langford's, what happened to his bill? What happened to Senator Langford's bill? The biggest piece of legislation pertaining to the border in the past, 40 years. Well, actually, I'm sorry. Obama had some pretty big legislation, so only 14. Trump had friendships with Putin. Kim Jong-un, the Kim Jong-un who threatened to nuke America, Alex, in the last letter sent from Kim Jong-un to Donald Trump, Kim Jong-un said, if you want to play nuclear swordplay, we will nuke your fucking country. I'm paraphrasing. Does that sound like a good relationship? A relationship where the other guy goes, I'm going to nuke you. Your vice president's a fucking idiot, and so are you. Does that sound like they had a good friendship? Doesn't sound like one. No, I'm who's Keith Jardine, CBC. I'm not to John Fetterman yet. I'm working on it. I'm somewhere. So I started as Bill Burr. I'm in my Keith Jardine phase, and then eventually I will be John Fetterman one day after my stroke. Yeah, I'm sorry, but no. That's why Mike Kelly's going to be vice president, lol. And then you got to vote. Then you got to vote for Kamala when Mike Kelly becomes the vice president. Because I'm rooting for Mike. That's what I'm going for. Oh, shit, Mark. God damn it. Wait, which one's the bad one? I can't remember. Fuck, I'm having a stroke. What up, Spitfire? What's up, new construction, Tampa? Dude. Yeah, I've already gone over all that, Sativa. You guys are all fucking wrong. What do you believe, Sativa, so I can go ahead and tell you? Go ahead, Sativa. Let me shit on you for a second. Go ahead. Tell me what you think Kamala is what's the worst thing she's done, so that way I can shit on you. I just did so much fucking research on all of this. God, I can't wait. Say some dumb shit. Come on. Say some dumb shit, Sativa.
Say it for me so I can shit on you. No, no, no. Say the thing. Say the thing, Sativa. Say the thing that the news media told you to say. Say the fucking thing. Play the game, dog. Play the game. Don't be a bitch. You come in here, you talked. You opened your mouth. Now talk. Don't be a bitch. What has she done wrong? Let's hear it. I'm waiting for you. I know I do kind of like look like I look like John Fetterman with the Eagle hoodie on. Come on, Sativa, don't be a bitch, dog. Come in here. You waited 5 minutes to come in and say that dumb shit and then bitch out, dude. Come on. They can't even answer the easy questions, dude. Let's watch some January 6th shit. I can't just talk to these idiots all day.
Word. On January 5th of 2021,
thank you for that, Tia. Recidivism.
A MAGA congressman tried to help Donald Trump's fake electors flip the results of a Democratic election in America. And we only learned about this
you don't know
today,
anything you're talking about, and you're just showing it so hard.
Attack on the Capitol, where Donald Trump tried to subvert the will of the American people
God,
by
I love
sicking
it.
a group of his supporters on the Capitol, while Mike Pence
I
was
fucking love
inside
you guys.
certifying the results of the election. Thankfully, he failed. But 3.5 years
I never knew it
later,
would
we
be
learned
this
about
easy.
this. Newly released January 6 tapes expose GOP congressman's dark role. And this article goes into detail about
more of
how
an
a
Indica
MAGA
man
representative
myself.
named Mike Kelly
never
essentially
knew it'd be this
aided
fucking
and
easy.
abetted Donald Trump's fake
It's
electors.
so easy.
Representative Mike Kelly played a key part in the events of January 6, 2021, according to new tapes. And this story actually broke on Twitter by a journalist named Jamie Dupree, who has spent almost 4 years covering Capitol Hill. And this is some amazing reporting, so let's break down this thread.
Yeah, this is the portion where they're bringing the fake electoral votes to, Mike Kelly, not Mark Kelly. Mark Kelly is the Arizona guy. My bad. Sorry, Mark Kelly. My bad. Okay, the NASA guy. The guy who got his wife got shot. Gabby Giffords. I know her name. Yeah, this is the part. Let me help you guys out for you guys that don't believe that this was an attempt to overthrow the government. So this is the part after they had went around and gotten fake electorates in all the different states: New Mexico, Nevada, Michigan. Michigan's my favorite because they tried to have a sleepover in the Michigan State Capitol, because you can't actually have real electoral votes unless they're signed inside of the Capitol building. And the actual legitimate slate of electors was already in the building. And there's a video online where the fake electors show up at the doors to try to go in to sign the electorates. And the cops stop them. And they're like, no, we're the legitimate electorates. And they're like, no, they're inside actually right now. And they're like, no, we're actually the real slate. And they're like, no, you're not. And they like laugh at them. Oh, God. Anyways, this is the part where they're trying to get Mark Meadows. Is it Mark Meadows or is Mark Meadows? No, Mark Meadows is texting the guy to take the envelope of fake electoral votes to Mike Pence, who's already said, no fucking way I'm doing this. You guys are fucking stupid. I want nothing to do with this. They're trying to take them to him. And they even text messaged his aide to come pick them up. I think his aide might have picked him up. And Mike Pence said, nope, not going to fucking do it. There's also emails from Kenneth Chesbro and Eastman detailing exactly how Mike Pence should go about denying that the electorates from Arizona, Arizona's one of my favorites too. Arizona, they used a fake house stamp. They've used the state seal of Arizona, but they made a fake one. So it was a counterfeit, which is literally illegal. And who is the Secretary of State? God, I can't remember. But she sent him a cease and desist and told him that she would prosecute him. God, it was amazing. Oh, you guys are such fucktards. Everything you guys do is so dumb. All of it. Every little bit of it. You're not even good at crime. This is what happens. Look, these people, they're not used to actually like having to do things. And then they're like, bro, how do we do all this stuff? I don't know. Let's email each other. Well, that's safe, right? We should just email and text each other? You would think people that had been criminals for this long, career politicians, would be better at this. They should have 100% invested some money in like some mafia, like a consultant, like a career criminal consultant should have came in and helped them out. Oh, God. It's so amazing. The paper trail behind the fake elector scheme is fucking hilarious. Katie Hobbs. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you. Katie Hobbs. Oh, God. Lots of people were duped. So, one of the things that, sorry, somebody else just said something. Totally lost my train of thought. Yeah, listen to the mods. Here, I'm gonna make Spitfire gets to be a mod too. Welcome to the mod game, Spitfire. Remember, with great power comes great responsibility, Spitfire. What I was gonna say is, I'm sure Sativa is a lefty. Here's the thing. I've said this from the fucking beginning. I don't care what party you're on. And here's the thing about the left. The left will eat itself. So right now, the right plays this game, and it's actually a really smart game. It's the best game that the right plays. The right plays a game where they say things that they know people within the left will latch onto, right? Because progressivism is actually really, it's really strict, right? Like, there's a lot of purity testing that goes on in progressivism. Like, if you don't believe this, this, and this, if you don't back these people, you don't get to be part of it. This is why I said I'm completely against purity testing. So what the right does is the right says things like she hasn't done a good job with the borders are and DEI for the right. That's for their people because they know that they'll take that kind of stuff. But then the right says for the left, they start calling into account her prosecutorial record. And they say those things because they know, because they've seen it used in a debate by the left, right? So they know that the left hates that shit. So they say it, so that way the left latches onto it. And this is how dumb people are. It doesn't matter what party you're in. There's dumb people fucking everywhere. Well, my friend in chat right now, he's one of them. Because he thinks what he's doing is he's fighting. He's fighting the corrupt left because Kamala is one of them. But he's never looked into the things he believes, or they believe. I'll give you that. They believe. They are saying things that they heard that they believe are bad. They have never looked up the fact that out of those 1,500 convictions, that almost none of those people did any time, that all of them were given a rehab or community service, that Kamala has been a extremely progressive candidate to the point that she's more progressive than Joe Biden has been, and Joe Biden has actually been more progressive than anybody thought he was going to be. But they'll never do that because there's dumb people on all sides. There's people that won't read shit, myself included. Like I said, up until Sunday, this Sunday, I was going, I don't know, some of this shit might be true. Might be true. But I got off my ass. I spent a day sitting there, looking into all of these things, going back through the Wayback Machine, finding articles, looking into the case with the guy on death row, all of those things, looking up each and every single thing, including her history with Willie Brown. Because I don't want to be one of these people. I don't want to be Sativa Demon. I don't want to be one of these people that's going to sit up here and say things when I've never ever looked into them. That's dumb, and it's not helpful. And if you're one of those people, I don't care if you're on the left or right, you shouldn't do it either. Because the right plays a game, and they play it successfully. Successfully. They get the left to come into their own party and say, well, I don't know about this candidate, guys. I heard this thing. Oh, did you hear it from people on the right? Well, yeah, but it doesn't matter because, like, it's true. Like, she did these things. No, she didn't. No, she didn't. It turns out, if you look this shit up, she didn't do any of those things. And like I said, I'm mad about it. Not at anybody else. Not about the people that told the lies. Not even about the people on the left that spew the lies within the party. I'm mad at me. I'm mad at me because my ass shouldn't have just taken it at face value. I shouldn't have determined whether or not I was going to vote for somebody without going and looking and seeing if the things that I believe are true. And now that I have, I'm a little irritated with myself. And that's what you should be. Let's go back because I keep missing this video. We're still talking Jan 6.
Electors flipped the results of a
look it up.
Democratic election in America. And we only learned about this today, 3.5 years after the January 6th attack on the Capitol, where Donald Trump tried to subvert
Good job,
the will
Lowell.
of the
I didn't want to
American
look into the
people
Willie shit.
by
I had to
sicking
because
a group
people
of his
were using
supporters on the Capitol while Mike Pence was inside certifying the results of the election. Thankfully, he failed, but 3.5 years later, we learned about this. Newly released January 6 tapes expose GOP
Spitfire, if you don't know all about it, I'll tell you about it after
this. This article goes into detail about how a MAGA
I was
representative
so
named
surprised.
Mike Kelly essentially aided and abetted Donald Trump's fake electors.
very upset
Representative Mike
myself.
Kelly played a key part in the events of January 6, 2021, according to new tapes. And this story actually broke on Twitter by a journalist named Jamie Dupree, who has spent almost 4 years covering Capitol Hill. And this is some amazing reporting, so let's break down this thread in an easily digestible way. Leave a like on the video and subscribe if you appreciate what I do. So Jamie says, the January 6 security tapes have a big surprise. There is a video of attorney Kenneth Chesbrough and Trump campaign aide G. Michael Brown handing off fake GOP elector
gotta be here longer
documents
than that,
from
Lowell.
Wisconsin and Michigan to the aides
Let's
of
see if you make it
Representative
that
Mike
long.
Kelly on January 5th. So one day
Spitfire's
before
been
the
around
attack
forever.
on the Capitol,
All these people
they
have been
were
around
trying
forever.
to subvert the will of the American people. Donald Trump tried to flip the
No quid
results
pro
of the
quo
election
here, bro.
in 12 different ways. Even if you removed January 6, it is still a coup.
Just so you know, I do have one moderator who is not political at all, and oftentimes will side with you conservatives. Just so you know, and he's my stepbrother. So he's one of he used to be a managing moderator, but he likes to go Highlander on people, yell there will be only one, and then kill off all the other moderators. So I had to take managing moderator away from him. But there is at least one moderator on my team of moderators that you could consider to be right-leaning at times. I don't consider him political at all, but I would say some of the things that he agrees with are more libertarian than anything else. And then, like, woke, I wouldn't consider woke to be your average, everyday lefty. Woke's a very fair person, though woke will shit on you. Where's Redonk? I think Redonk's wife told him he's not allowed to watch me anymore. Even though I unbanned them. All right, sorry, I gotta go back again because I keep not watching the video.
Kenneth
All right, I gotta just watch the
Chesbrough
video.
and Trump campaign aide G. Michael Brown handing off fake GOP elector documents
He'll
from
be back.
Wisconsin
Redonk
and
always
Michigan
comes back.
to the aides of
What up,
Representative
AJ?
Mike Kelly on January 5th. So one day before the attack on the Capitol, they were trying to subvert the will of the American people. Donald Trump tried to flip the results of the election
Exactly,
in 12
cool
different
lad.
ways. Even if you removed January 6th, it is still a coup. You see pictures right here
Dude,
of the aides
hold on.
carrying the documents.
Frosty, I'm gonna
If
shit
we
on
can-
you. Okay, you guys gotta stop. I'm gonna stop looking at your chat. I'm gonna shit on Frosty. Frosty, I've been saying you motherfuckers are weird for like 4 fucking years. 4 years. I brainwashed them, Frosty. I brainwashed them. I'm the brainwasher. I've been saying y'all motherfuckers were crazy forever. I've been saying, look at this weird shit these people believe. Look at how weird these motherfuckers are. I brainwashed them, Frosty. What's happening, Frosty? All right, this time we're gonna watch the goddamn video. All right, I'm not fucking talking to you.
Twitter by a journalist named Jamie Dupree, who has spent almost 4 years covering Capitol Hill.
I am
and
the
this is some
brainwasher!
amazing reporting, so let's break down this thread in an easily digestible way. Leave a like on the video and subscribe if you appreciate what I do. So Jamie says, the January 6 security tapes have a big surprise.
You know they're
There is a
crazy.
video of attorney Kenneth
Right.
Chesbrough and Trump campaign aide G. Michael Brown handing off fake GOP elector documents from Wisconsin and Michigan to the aides of Representative Mike Kelly on January 5th. So one day before the attack on the Capitol, they were trying to subvert the will of the American people. Donald Trump tried to flip the results of the election in 12 different ways. Even if you removed January 6th, it is still a coup.
Oh, we're back.
You see
We're back.
pictures
We're
right
okay.
here of the aides carrying the documents. If we continue down, while Chesbrough and Brown delivered the documents on January 5th to aides of Representative Mike Kelly, the aides were were unable to get the material to Pence as the Senate parliamentarian refused to accept the fake elector envelopes. And we see pictures of Chesbro delivering the documents to the aides. These are pictures of Chesbro, Kenneth Chesbro, delivering the documents. That is important. The Capitol Hill security cameras first picked up Chesbro and Brown at 3:40 p.m. on January 5th as they walked into the Longworth House office building. I just want to point out, 24 hours later, the Capitol was
AJ,
surrounded, was being attacked and breached by Donald Trump's biggest supporters. Thousands of them. I mean, this is an attack on our democracy, and the fact that people are willfully ignorant
How many
about
people
this
don't
is
know who
wild.
the representative
Now we have
is
some
real life.
recordings. Chesbro
so many
and
people.
Brown walked into the Longworth House office building and waited outside. At 3:51 p.m. on January 5th, 2 aides from the office of Representative Mike Kelly came outside to meet them. They returned with the fake elector documents. So far, we have Trump allies, Chesbro and Brown, who worked on the Trump campaign, who helped with the fake elector scheme, delivering off documents to Representative Mike Kelly of PA's aides. Let's watch this clip of Chesbro and Brown walking into the building at 3:51 p.m. on January 6th. Here's the building.
They wore their masks,
here's the video of them walking into the building. The aides to Representative Mike Kelly walked the fake elector documents to the Capitol, but that's where things went haywire. This is where things get crazy. A source familiar with the matter says that the Senate parliamentarian's office refused to accept the envelopes on January 5th. Now, I have long said that you can count on one hand the amount of people that saved our democracy that day. Obviously, one is Mike Pence, but now you can name this unnamed Senate parliamentarian who refused to accept these documents, as they should. Why would they accept documents from random aides? Let's watch this video of...
Yeah, and he was trying to pass them to Mike Pence's aide, so that way he could pass them to Mike Pence, so that way Mike Pence could open them. And if you don't know what they planned on doing, was opening okay, so there's multiple different things. Eastman set this up in an email. He had a whole bunch of steps that Pence could go through. And one of them was to open both and be like, oh my God, look, like Arizona has these ones that say they're for Trump and these ones that say they're for Biden. We'll get back to that. And then they're going to go to a vote of some sort, right? Like that's what they had planned, right? Or he just opens the fake electorates and he just reads out for Arizona, which of course would then cause the left, the Democrats, to what is it called? What's the opposite of sustaining? Object to the vote. They wanted the left to object to it. All of this was meant in a way to stall, to give enough time for people to be able to interfere with this. I don't know how many of these people, Proud Boy, whatever the fuck, that were involved in this, knew that what they were doing was helping to stall this election. I think that's a little too conjecture for me to be able to do that. There are much smarter people that have legally analyzed what happened that day. But whether or not these people knew or not, they were participating in what was happening. Now, when you look at the people that are fake electorates, same shit. You don't know how many of those people knew that they were fake electorates, because people like Eastman, people like Chesbro, people like Sidney Powell, Rudy Giuliani were going around to each of these people and telling them, you're the legitimate slate of electors. So some of these people probably did it because they knew, probably because they're getting some type of kickback for it. But like the people, I think it was in Wisconsin, there was multiple people in Wisconsin that were super pissed off about it because they're like, I wasn't told this. I was told this is the legitimate way that things are done. I was unaware that I was participating in what could possibly be seen as a coup against my own government. So some of these people, in my opinion, the fake electorate people, do not deserve to be prosecuted, and I don't believe they can be prosecuted for a crime, to be honest with you. But I don't believe that they should be held accountable for the things that they were tricked into doing. So for like people in Wisconsin that were complaining that they were tricked into it, I don't think that they should be held accountable. Our whole society is politically illiterate. We know nothing about how the government works. If somebody came to most of the people in my chat right now and said, hey, I work for the government. We need people to do this thing. This is somebody that you probably support. Would you be willing to sign this thing that's helpful to us? Most people would probably just do it. So, but this point, to get back to the video, this is the point where they're attempting to give the envelope with the electorates to Mike Pence, for him to stall the election. This is 100% facts. There are text messages, there are emails, and now there's video, all to prove that this is what happened. I have like so much fucking research on this fake electorate shit, dude.
Of 2 aides from Representative Mike Kelly walking Donald Trump's fake elector documents to the Capitol before being rejected, which ultimately helped save our democracy because these documents...
I think it's too early to say who I think will win the election. At this point, there's a lot of energy behind Kamala, but 4 months is a long time in this 24-hour news cycle. 4 months is a long time in a 24-hour news cycle. Plus, at this point, I know everybody's saying Kamala is the nomination, and most likely she will be. But, you know, like, dude, in 1 week, a president got shot out by a 20-year-old that was trying to become famous. That's what I'm going with. And the former Democratic current president dropped out of the race in 1 week. I don't know what the fuck is going to happen in the next 4 months, to be honest with you. But if the election was today, I think Kamala wins. I think if the election was today, there's too much energy behind Kamala. I don't think Trump has a chance today.
Documents never got to Mike Pence. There may be a reality where the documents did get to Mike Pence, and then he went through with it. But what's wild to me is that there is a video from this same fisheye camera that we see right here.
I'm gonna skip ads for you
24 hours
guys.
later, where MAGA supporters are running through these same exact halls, the same halls. You guys may have seen that video. Unable to deliver the fake GOP documents from Michigan and Wisconsin on January 5th, the aides to Representative Mike Kelly of PA then spent 30 minutes just walking around the second floor of the Capitol, seemingly waiting for instructions. But instructions from who is the question. Out of options, the Kelly
We've all
aides
been
took
there.
the fake GOP elector documents, the ones from Michigan and Wisconsin, back to their office. That led to a scramble the next day on January 6th when Mike Pence was certifying the results, involving
fake
Senator
propaganda.
Ron Johnson
Sure.
of Wisconsin
All this
to
is
get
totally
the
fake.
documents to VP
It's
Pence.
not- you
Those
can't,
efforts
like,
all
fucking
failed,
literally-
ultimately saving our democracy. Jamie Dupree then says,
We got to go back on this video again because I can't let Frosty talk. Dude, I'm sorry, but Donald Trump, he ain't good at anything. He ain't even good at being a criminal, dude. Like, who the fuck emails people nowadays? Like, dude, why? Okay, it's not specific to Donald Trump. I see this shit happening like throughout society, and it blows my fucking mind. And maybe it's because I grew up the way I did, and now I am who I am. So I look at the shit that people do, and I'm like, why the fuck would you do that? Why would you email a person your plan? Why would you tell everybody what you're doing? The one guy from Arizona, the lawyer, literally said, we have to stop calling them fake electorates. We have to start calling them alternative electorates. And then he put a smiley face on the end of the email. One day, if you guys want to have a fake elector stream, I'll go through my fucking boatload of notes. It is actually... Okay, so here's the 2 streams we have to do. Okay, we need a true crime on the dude on death row. Because like I said, it's bullshit what people are saying about Kamala. But that story is super fucking interesting and crazy as fuck. Okay, so true crime on that dude. And we need just a fake electorate stream. Because the further and further you go down that rabbit hole, the weirder and weirder it gets. And when I say weirder and weirder, it's weird how bad they are. It's like they thought, like, dude, like nobody's going to check our emails. Nobody's going to see all these text messages we're sending each other. Who would do that? Who would get a hold of our emails and our text messages? These are people that literally freaked the fuck out about Hillary Clinton and her cell phones and her emails. You can't make this shit up. They freaked out about Hillary Clinton's emails and her cell phones, and then they fucking did that shit. Like, I'm sorry, but I can't trust the government in the hands of a bunch of people that are dumb enough to commit crimes in emails and text messages. Sorry, guys.
but instructions from
No
who
cap.
is the question. Out of options, the Kelly aides took the fake GOP elector documents, the ones from Michigan and Wisconsin,
Just a
back to
fake
their
election
office.
stream?
That led to a scramble the next day on January 6th.
That's a
when
good
Mike
call,
Pence
real life.
was,
They
certifying
thought they
the
would get
results,
pardoned.
involving Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin.
That's actually a really good point, real life. They thought they would get pardoned. That is actually so pertinent and just goes to show how fucking bad this stuff was. Like I said, like, you guys know the whole idea came from like a retired like Army Ranger dude that fucking like tweeted something. Like, this is how dumb Donald Trump is. I've said this before, and Lowell, you agreed with me already on this, so you're going to have to agree again here in a second. I think people... I don't think Donald Trump's a good human being. I think he's a shitty person that takes advantage of people. But I think people attribute a lot of malevolence to Donald Trump that is just moronic fucking ignorance. I think that people think that he's doing stuff because he's like evil, and I think it's because he's never been told no, and because he's a moron, and he thinks he can just get away with whatever because he has always gotten away with whatever. So what Real Life just said actually makes total fucking sense.
To get the documents to VP Pence. Those efforts all failed, ultimately saving our democracy. Jamie Dupree then says, how do we know there were fake elector documents in those envelopes? Chesbro said so in his own text messages on January 6th when he said that he dropped off the documents
Trump
to
is
to
the
Representative
most
Mike
dumb,
Kelly a day earlier.
Please.
Now, all of this kind of just reminds me of like the worst possible James Bond movie. These people are walking into the
Don
Capitol
Jr.
trying
Frosty?
to actually overturn an election.
Fuck
and they
is wrong
have
with you?
text messages.
Look
that
at
they
Don
left.
Jr.
They didn't even do anything about the cameras. I mean, these are the worst criminals possible. These people who are passing the documents off kind of reminds me of the Deep Throat scenario back during Watergate, except Deep Throat was actually helpful and was a good person, a patriot. These people are the farthest thing from patriots possible, but the way they are delivering
they
documents
do want Trump to be
Congress
king. I have a
is
video
just
about it where they
wild.
say, yeah.
So the texts read,
Yeah, you
I've
guys
been
hate
on the
Hunter,
phone
Frosty.
with Mike Roman and Senator Johnson
Don
and
Jr.
Johnson's
versus
COS
Hunter.
to get an original
Frosty,
copy
how
of the
about that?
Wisconsin slate to VP.
Barron's
By
not old enough
Wisconsin
to
slate,
fight
he
yet.
means the fake slate of electors to VP Pence. Not sure if you are involved, but call Mike to
Don
make
Jr.
sure he
should be
gets
Hunter
what he
Biden's
needs.
kid.
Thanks. From Jim. And Ken Chesbro said, Mike had me drop off
Thank
two
you, Bill.
originals yesterday
Thank you, Bill.
at 4 to Representative Kelly Aide,
What
who
a
walked it
McDodge,
over
I don't
to the
understand
Senate
shit.
parliamentarian. So he details in the text exactly what happened. This may be the dumbest criminal possible, but then again, anybody with a MAGA
what
hat
I'm
on
saying.
is most likely not the brightest. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say it. Ken Chesbro then says, I was with Mike's top guy, Michael Brown. So Ken Chesbro just
I just love that all the people on the left have finally joined up with me. All the fucking people on the left that used to come into my chat and say it was mean for me to call it a cult. That it was mean for me to call people stupid. That it was mean for me to say that the shit they believed was weird. It's mental illness. You shouldn't make fun of it. Now all these motherfuckers are joining up. I told you, Frosty, I did the brainwashing. These fuckers finally got on my level and realized this shit's weird. It's weird. Is something wrong? Something happened. Maybe that, you know, there's a MAGA belief that the world got swallowed by a black hole. There's a MAGA conspiracy, or maybe it's just a conspiracy. Maybe now we're gonna say it's a MAGA conspiracy. Well, I don't really care. We're gonna say it's a MAGA conspiracy. There's at least a conspiracy that the world was swallowed into a black hole when we found the Higgs boson. When CERN found the Higgs boson, people believe that a black hole swallowed the Earth and that we're now in an alternate reality. That's what they believe. Yeah. But they might actually be they might be right, because I think some people actually, because all these MAGA supporters hated big tech 6 months ago. I'm talking like 6 fucking months ago. They hated big tech. Now they like Peter Thiel and Elon Musk. It's the weirdest shit I've ever seen in my life. They're like, those are the child traffickers, the big tech people. And now they're like fucking jerking them off in a back room on Grindr. Like, it's the weirdest shit I've ever seen.
just basically summarize.
Oh, hold
what
on,
we see
I
in
gotta
those
fucking shit on Frosty for that one. Frosty, how many people went to prison? How many people went to prison, Frosty, that you're talking about? First of all, the 2,000 number comes from the state of California, not from her time as a district attorney in San Francisco. So you're already wrong, but I'm going to shit on you some more because you like it. How many people went to prison that were convicted during Kamala Harris's time as a district attorney of San Francisco? It was 45. And do you know what they went to prison for? They went to prison for things that included felony charges of dealing, and the drug dealing was their worst charge. 45 out of the 1,500 people that were supposedly convicted during Kamala's tenure as the district attorney of San Francisco, the majority of them, and I have quotes from multiple people as well as statistics to back it up, that she put most of those people through rehab, and almost all of them got no time at all. In fact, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do it. You know what? Let's just, yeah. Oh, this is once again, can you blame that on one person, or do you have to blame that on multiple people? Let's bring it up. Let's bring up the notes, dog. God, I love doing this. This is my favorite part of it. Kevin Cooper. That's the dude's name. Kevin Cooper. Where are my actual notes? Those aren't my notes. Where are my actual notes? Those are all my sources. Let's Google Docs this bitch. Oh, here we go. Oh, get ready for the notes, boys. You guys ready for the notes? Are you guys ready for the notes? I know now conservatives don't want tough on crime, right, Davey? Right? Isn't that fucking crazy, Davey? Now they don't want tough on crime. You know why? Because the right plays this game. They do want tough on crime, but they know that the left is dumb enough to come into left-wing channels and shit on their own people. They know they're dumb enough. So this is why I play this game, right? It's like I get on here and I go, yeah, let's play this game because I like to play this game. Here's the pot convictions. So Harris oversaw more than 1,900 marijuana convictions in San Francisco. Previously unreported records from the DA's office show her prosecutors appear to have convicted people on marijuana charges at a higher rate than under her predecessor based on data about marijuana arrests in the city. So that's what people tell you. That's where they stop, right? They're like, boom, gotcha, bitch, owned. Okay, here's all the shit that you don't talk about. Former lawyers in Harris's office and defense attorneys who worked on drug cases say most defendants arrested for low-level pot possession were never locked up, and only a few dozen people were sent to state prison for marijuana convictions under Harris's tenure. The actual statistics on that are 45 people that went to prison in 7 years. 45 people in 7 years. Gabbard was misleadingly citing figures for all of California while Harris was Attorney General. First of all, even though the vast majority of marijuana cases in the state are prosecuted by independently elected county district attorneys. First of all, okay? Over Harris's 7 years as top prosecutor, her attorneys won 1,956 misdemeanor and felony convictions for marijuana possession, cultivation, or sale, according to the data from the DA's office. That includes people who are convicted of marijuana offenses and more serious crimes at the same time, which means that a certain percentage of those people actually, and I know about this because when I used to cry about people getting convicted of pot, I get shit on by cops, and the cops would tell me like I didn't understand what the fuck I was talking about, so it forced me to go look up what they're talking about, and I realized that a lot of people that were being convicted of pot crimes were actually pleading down to the pot crime, but were actually convicted of more, on trial for worse crimes like domestic violence, breaking, entering, assault, mugging people. So see, this is called confronting your own bias. So I realized, even though at that time that I was like, fuck those people, they're always putting people in jail for marijuana, that I was like, I should probably go look at this to make sure I'm right about this. And I realized I wasn't fucking right. So just so you know, that's also part of it. She supported medical marijuana, which was already legal in California. However, she only came out in 2018 for it to be legalized, just so you know. This is actually a chart about the marijuana convictions. And as you can see here, this is her predecessor, and this is her. You can see where it was when she left office here. Only 45 people were sentenced to state prison for marijuana convictions during Harris's 7 years in office, compared with the 135 people during Hallinan, who, by the way, was the son or grandson of a progressive presidential candidate. Just so you know. So he was very progressive as well. According to data from the state's corrections department, that only includes individuals whose most serious conviction was for marijuana. So all the people that had less serious convictions for marijuana were people who did worse shit but had marijuana. It's like if you're breaking and entering and you assaulted somebody but you had pot in your pocket. That would be one of the charges. Despite the substantial number of convictions, many of the people who were arrested for marijuana during Harris's tenure were never locked up or never even charged with a crime, according to attorneys who worked on both sides of the courtroom. Our policy was that no one with a marijuana conviction for mere possession could do any jail time at all, said Paul Henderson, who led narcotics prosecutions for several years under Harris. Defendants arrested for the lowest level possession would typically be referred to drug treatment programs instead of being charged, and weightier charges for marijuana sales would routinely be pleaded down to less serious ones. Solis, who led the public defender's office misdemeanor division for part of Harris's tenure, agreed that her office only rarely prosecuted people for low-level simple possession. Kamala Harris and I disagreed on a lot of criminal justice issues, but I have to admit she was probably the most progressive prosecutor in the state at the time when it came to marijuana, Solis said. She did, however, seem to more aggressively prosecute dealers. And just so you know, all marijuana convictions going back to 1975 eventually were expunged after Harris left office. Y'all want to talk some more about this shit? Because you don't. Because you never read a fucking thing in your life. Nothing. Zero. Zilch. You can't stand with me. You can't hang with me. Anyways, let's go back to the January 6th shit. Oh, it's almost over. Anyways, yeah, they tried to overthrow an election. Oh, no, that was this one. Oh, it's not almost over. Let's watch the rest of this. Sorry, I had to shit on Frosty likes it when I shit on him. I think the worst problem is her push to keep people in prison. So, let's talk about that, Ross. Oh, fuck, I love that you brought that up. Holding prisoners past their release date. Let's talk about that, Ross. What do you believe about that, Ross? What do you know? I will provide links in a video. I'm not going to give you all my sources yet. I'm not done yet. I just started my fucking research yesterday. God damn, I can't give you my resources yet. But here, I'll show you that I have them. They're all right here. I've got all of them. This is a bunch of shit from the Wayback Machine, as well as all the prosecutorial stuff from the Cooper versus Brown trial. What up, Abaddon? Openly protest the Supreme Court vocally. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with her openly protesting against the Supreme Court. All right, so let's talk about the people that said she held prisoners past their release date. While Harris was California's Attorney General in 2014, attorneys representing California inmates argued the state was slow to comply with a court order which said non-violent repeat offenders were to be eligible for parole after serving half their sentence to reduce overcrowding. So first of all, let me give an idea of what was going on here. So there was an attempt by the state to reduce the overcrowding of California state prisons, and their idea was that people that were non-violent repeat offenders should be allowed to serve only half of their sentence if they had been on good behavior. Now, there was an argument, and I'm going to read that in a second, an argument that was made by her office, not by Kamala Harris, but by her office, that if they were allowed to leave after only half their term, that would impact the ability to fight wildfires in California, because California uses inmate labor to fight wildfires. Now, that's a shitty thing to do. That's a terrible thing to do. Nobody should be kept in prison, even to fight wildfires, even though we have one right now that's like 360,000 acres. That's bigger than the size of Los Angeles, by the way. Still wrong. You don't keep people in prison just because you need their fucking labor. That's shit. Like I said, I put things on one side or the other. But it was her office. Never did Kamala Harris come out and say that that's something anybody should do. Attorneys for Harris's office countered that allowing some offenders out of prison so quickly would hurt their labor programs, specifically one that allowed certain prisons to fight wildfires. In a November 2014 interview with BuzzFeed News, Harris said she was shocked by the lawyer's argument. Spokesman Ian Sams told the Daily Beast that she looked into it and directed the department's attorneys not to make that argument again. But here it goes. This is even better. But the issue was about whether they would be released early, not whether they would be held past their length of the original sentence. Nobody at any point ever said that prisoners should be held longer than their original sentence. There was an argument that they should be released early, and her office made the argument, which was a shitty argument, that they should not be allowed to be released early. Once again, if you're going to make the argument, make the correct argument, please. I'm not voting for RFK. I'm voting for Kamala every day of the week. Kamala's fucking dope, dude. Like this is the best thing. This is the best thing. That it cracks me up. I love fucking the fact that I can sit up here and just shit on every talking point that you have, and you're like, I'm still voting for the guy I wanted to vote for, because I told you guys this before. That at the end of the day, I'm not up here to change your mind. I'm just up here to show you that I use mine. So you can just say you're not gonna vote for the person I'm voting for. That doesn't affect me in any way, shape, or form. That's not what I'm up here for. My point is you should read things, you should look into things, but you'll never do that. So you'll continue to vote for the same person that you came in here the first day. You're still going to be voting for him after this 4 months. I'm not going to change your mind. Only you can change your mind. That's the way it works.
What's up, everybody? It's Mr. Straight Facts. Now, you understand that I always bring you stats. I'm going to call this here straight stats, because without stats, it's not really a fact. You really got to bring your receipts. And MAGA minions don't believe in bringing receipts. They just tell you their feelings. And here, their feelings don't matter. I don't care about your opinions on things unless they're rooted in fact. Now here, what we're going to do is show you some actual stats you can't refute. These right here are coming from the FBI. I don't think you can beat the...
Hold on before my guy gets into it. I'm new here. I was wondering what your stance on the current situation in Gaza, pro or against ceasefire. Does it classify as a genocide? So Bill, we're going to get to where I'm at, okay? So when it comes to the Gaza-Israel situation, I have tried my hardest to tell people that a person like me should never really comment in a way that could lead to misinformation when based on that. My stance is anytime innocent people are dying, it is wrong. Anytime people are being affected by a government that is killing innocent people, it is wrong. Anytime people are taking terroristic actions to kill innocent people, it is wrong. I am always 100% pro ceasefire in every war. Every single war on earth, I will always be pro ceasefire unless it is literally to liberate people from somebody that is doing something that is like murdering other people, right? Like harming other people. So when it comes to whether or not I think it's a genocide or not, I don't think that I'm educated enough to have a position on something like that. I think that if I said something, or it would be just an appeal to emotion, it would just be me telling you how I feel about something. And I don't think that that's appropriate for such a sensitive subject, right? Like, I don't want to be a voice that comes on here and says something about something that I haven't done enough research on. And something like the Gaza-Israel conflict goes back, hundreds of years, thousands of years. Recently, I was reading about them fighting over that fucking hill. And that just, it boggles my mind to know that human beings have gotten to a point where we literally will fight over a hill until all of the people in our civilizations die, because a book says that a specific building needs to be there and that we need to burn a red cow on it. So that way we have Jesus come back or the next apocalyptic war happens. That blew my mind to find out that that was true, that that's something that people fight over. And it's really fucking sad because there's a lot of innocent people that are dying in that conflict. And I think it's fucking abhorrent, to be honest with you. My opinion, however, if you want the most fence-sitting opinion that you'll ever hear in your life, it is that we have obligations to Israel as a government that we have agreed to, and I do not like those obligations, but we have them, and we must fulfill them. But I do believe those obligations should have been fulfilled already, and that America at this point should be no longer involved in the Israel-Gaza conflict. I believe that at this point it well pushes the boundaries of moral goodness. That's the best I can say. I don't want to get any further into that, because the further I get into it, the more I have to qualify things, and I do not feel qualified to qualify them. So I hope that answers your question. Innocent people dying is wrong. Period.
Period.
This here is straight stats, because without stats, it's not really a fact. You really got to bring your receipts. And MAGA minions don't believe in bringing receipts. They just tell you their feelings, and in here, their feelings don't matter. I don't care about your opinions on things unless they're rooted in fact. Now here, what we're going to do is show you some actual stats you can't refute. These right here are coming from the FBI. I don't think you can beat the FBI. Who else is going to give you information that's inside the government if it's not the government, right? Okay, then. Let's get to the point. Now, this is what Donald Trump has been saying over and over again at his rallies, that they just soak in as if it's real information.
Whatever you
and all
say,
he's really telling them
podcast.
is that
Whatever you
you're
say,
too stupid to look it up. You're just trusting what I say. Let's listen.
Our crime rate is going up while crime statistics all over the world are plunging.
Wrong.
We have become a dumping ground for the world,
Wrong.
which is laughing at us. They can't believe how stupid we are, how stupid we are.
Yeah.
Okay. I got
hear
a
you, Bill.
challenge for these MAGA minions.
I
Donald Trump
don't know,
just said,
right?
and been going around saying for the longest time that crime is up. So you guys should be afraid, be very afraid, and that immigrants are coming to get you because we got so many here, even
My
though
man.
stats does not prove any of them are committing crimes at any rate worse than white men in this country, worse than black men in this country, worse than Latin men in this country who were born and raised here. Doesn't show anything worse than them. It's actually better.
Well, Ross, no, it's the beginning of my argument. God damn it, I can't not look at chat. I have to stop looking at chat. My argument is not that she didn't know. My argument to this point is that, like I said before, oftentimes it is not malfeasance, it is incompetence. So if you were to make the argument that I am saying that I believe that it seems as though she did a poor job in that case of having good oversight of her committee, that would be closer to what I'm saying. What I am saying is I do not think Kamala is a perfect person. I do not think that Kamala is going to never do anything that I disagree with. I do not think that Kamala has never done something that I think is bad or corrupt. I think all people do things that are bad. Some of them do it because they think they're doing good things, and some of them do it because they know they're doing bad things. But am I going to sit here and say that like her office making that argument was fucking stupid? I already said that. That's a stupid fucking argument. It's a shitty argument. So I want to weigh evidence, right? The more I look into it, the more I'll decide whether I think that she was complacent or incompetent. But those are really the only two answers in that area, to be honest with you. Yeah, she should have had oversight of her, of the people that are working below her. So it's either complacency or incompetence. There is nothing in that that's good, but that is not a disqualifying factor. People make mistakes. If there was like a legitimate paper trail of her making those mistakes over and over and over and over and over and over again, then the preponderance of evidence would side in the area that she is either incompetent or complacent or complicit in people's crimes, and then I would not vote for her. That's why I'm doing the research. I want to know whether or not I would. But I don't know that. I barely did that little bit so far. Definitely, immigrant crime definitely isn't a higher rate, but it's preventable. Yeah, immigrants commit crimes at 45% of the rate of natural-born American citizens. What are you talking about? California makes me awesome. Frosty and the rest of you gonna be just like us at the end of the day. Lol. I'm gonna time you out, bud. Okay? I'm gonna time you out, lol. We don't talk about children. No talking about children, lol. I'm timing you out. Bad lol. Bad lol. Do not talk about children. I don't want anybody in my fucking chat talking about harming children. I don't care if it's on the left. I don't care if it's on the right. 2 people in the last stream on the left said shit about Trump, and they got banned for that shit. Okay? Don't talk about harming children in my fucking chat, please. Jesus Christ. This should not be that hard. It should be something everybody trivializing the harm of children to make political arguments. So that way other people look bad it should be off the table, guys. Do not trivialize the harm of children so that way you can insult the people you dislike. Keep that shit out, please. I'm going to ask like one more fucking time.
said and have been going around saying
Dark.
for the longest time that crime is up. So you guys should be afraid, be very
Dark.
afraid.
Don't
and that
fucking do
immigrants
that.
are coming to get you because we got so many here, even though stats does not prove any of them are committing crimes at any rate worse than white men in this country, worse than black men in this country, worse than Latin men in this country who were born and
Red
raised here.
Caesars.
Doesn't show
I don't think
anything worse
Hold
than
on, I'll
them.
write it
It's
down.
actually better than the people who live here. Their gripe is they shouldn't have been in the country to begin with. Well, a lot of us shouldn't have been in the country to begin with. This is the native land, the indigenous land. White people came here and created the most crime ever. I don't care if a culture came here and killed people
That's so
every day for the next 30 years. They can't match 400 years of it. Right?
Hold on. That's actually one of the funniest things I think I've ever heard. White people came here and created the most crime. Come on, you guys know, even you fucking MAGA people gotta laugh at that shit. That's hilarious. Yeah, I gotta learn to laugh at shit you don't like, alright? Just the other day, I laughed at that Titus joke about the fact that the left tried to put fucking Biden in a convertible and send him to Texas, okay? You gotta laugh at shit. Like I said, I want all of you MAGA Republicans to get back to a point where when you guys saw stuff you didn't like, you just made really shitty jokes. That's what I want you guys to get back to. Right now, you guys have ventured so far over into the anger realm that now you're just hate posting and just claiming that everything is satanic. Like, I need you guys to get, like pull it back a little bit and just start making shitty jokes again. Like, your jokes were bad, but at least you were trying to make jokes, okay? Like, you were trying. And every once in a while, I laughed at one of these things. I have a Twitter post today where Timple's dumbass said something, and I thought it was funny, and I was like, dude, I think that's the first time I've laughed at anything Timple has said in 6 years. It was fucking, I was like, I think we're healing. And then I said, that's weird. Later, Frosty. All right. I will look into Red Caesarism. Red Caesarism I will look into and I will discuss. I've got it on my notepad next to me now. All right, going
Than
back.
black men in this country, worse than Latin men in this country who were born and raised here. Doesn't show anything worse than them.
The
It's
Olympics!
actually better than the people who live here. Their
the
gripe
Olympics!
is they shouldn't have been in the country to begin with. Well,
Later,
a lot of
Frosty.
us shouldn't have been in the country to begin with. This is the native land, the indigenous land. White people came here and created the most crime ever. I don't care if a culture came here and killed people every day for the next 30 years. They can't match 400 years of it, right? Exactly. So you got to miss me with the bullshit. Now, let's get to actual stats, which are facts, not feelings. This one's going to come from CNN, but I know you MAGA people, oh, he took it from CNN. They can't report on this data. They don't have it. It has to come from the FBI, the only source that has this data that is correct. Police forces throughout the United States, over 19,000 of them, send their information to the...
I wanted to bring something up, too, because I just saw this shit the other day. So do you guys understand what, like, federal immunity of crimes for police officers would be? I wonder how many people understand what police immunity is. So what Donald Trump wants to do is Donald Trump wants to push, reenact, because he's already pushed through Schedule F. So he wants to bring back Schedule F, and he wants to mass lay off government employees. And then he wants to give federal immunity to police officers. Anybody that just saw that absolutely abhorrent shooting of that Massey lady in Illinois should understand why police officers have to be held accountable. I have family that are police officers. I respect my family that are police officers, and I think they are very good people, and they disagree with me politically. I fucking guarantee it. But I still love them. I still appreciate them. I know that they've been good people their whole lives and that they try to do really good shit. Fucking mad respect to them. My nephew was shot and killed in a subway for holding a tire iron while he was breaking into a store. Now, should he have been doing that? No. But he did, right? So I have both sides of the coin. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to have police violence, okay, happen to you, to somebody you love, and I know what it's like to have police officers in my family that are really good fucking people, okay? So you cannot give total and complete immunity to police officers. When George Floyd, who, like I said, my aunt and uncle, both police officers, both disagree with me politically, I guarantee it. When George Floyd was killed, at least my aunt, I can't remember if my uncle said it or not, but she said that is a gross violation of that man's rights, and that police officer deserves to be put on trial. That's from a person that most likely is conservative and has worked in law enforcement for 30 years. There are times where police officers need to be held accountable for their actions because they're human beings, because they're just as capable of making a mistake, and they're just as capable as being malfeasant. In the Massey case, that police officer had every chance to de-escalate that situation. He had every chance to use non-fatal means, and he chose not to. And then even after taking that woman's life, he chose to act as though it was no big deal. And that's probably because that's where his mental is. And that man needs to be held accountable for his actions. And if you disagree with me, well, you can go fuck yourself. I don't care. You cannot give federal immunity to police officers. And if you're a conservative, and especially if you're a libertarian, and you agree with giving federal immunity to police officers, let me go ahead and give you a hint. You're not a conservative, and you're not a libertarian. You're a MAGA Republican. Because there's a big difference between conservatives and libertarians and MAGA Republicans. And that is that MAGA Republicans don't have values. They don't have policies. They don't know legislation. They only know what they've been told by their God King. These are the people that claim that it's okay for him to be a dictator. It would be great if he became a king. He should be in charge of everybody. Why does anybody get to have any other decision than he does? These are people that say they don't trust the Department of Justice. They don't trust the FBI. They don't trust the CIA. They don't trust judges. They don't trust the Congress. They don't trust the senators. Well, who do you trust? Only Donald Trump. That's fascism. That's the literal definition of fascism. There's no fucking way you are a conservative and you think that Donald Trump should be a dictator. There's no fucking way you're a libertarian and you think that Donald Trump should be a dictator. If you believe that he should be in charge of the entire government and you can't trust any other wing of the government, then you are not a conservative, you're not a libertarian, you are a MAGA Republican, and you are a cult member. I just wanted to say that before I let him continue to talk.
Match 400 years of it, right? Exactly. So you got to miss me with the bullshit. Now, let's get to actual stats, which are facts, not feelings. This one's going to come from CNN, but I know you MAGA people, he took it from CNN. They can't report on this data because they don't have it. It has to come from the FBI, the only source that has this data that is correct. Police forces throughout the United States, over 19,000 of them, send their information to the FBI. Not Donald Trump, not the QAnon.org or whatever the hell. They send it to the FBI. Nobody has this data but the FBI. So if you have different data than CNN, than me, then you have to understand.
Steven, don't do anything dumb, buddy. Don't do that. Just let that fucking guy go. Let him go, man. Let him go. Lol. You want me to play the video? Would you like me to play the video of all the people saying that they think he should be king? That he should be a dictator? Do you want me to play the video where there's multiple? I booted him, Steven. I'm not gonna let him. We don't need to do all that. Just, I got it. You want me to play the video of all the people saying it? Because I will. Yeah, you're one person. Do you represent the entire party, Lowell? Do you represent the entire? It's all good. It's all good. Let's just stay away from stuff like that. You know, like I don't want anything to happen to you guys. You don't want a lady or a king. You want a daddy. Like I said, I have a video where I know he's trolling me, but it's like I said. This is my point. Is I like when they troll me because I can literally say I have videos to the contrary because that just proves my point.
Trump's lying to you, correct? Now let's get straight to the facts here. It says violent crime dropped by more than 15% in the United States. .org or whatever the hell, they send it to the FBI. Nobody has this data but the FBI. So if you have different data than CNN, than me, then you have to understand Trump's lying to you, correct? Now let's get straight to the facts here. It says violent crime dropped by more than 15% in the United States during the first 3 months of 2024. It'd be January, February, and March, correct? Exactly. According to what? The statistics. Stats. Actual facts, not feelings, released by the FBI on that Monday. Now let's look at the actual.
Let me just ask Lowell. I gotta do this with Lowell. Lowell, do you trust the FBI? we'll play as well.
Numbers of
do you trust the
crime
FBI?
that are happening. The new numbers show violent crime from January to March, first 3 months, dropped 15.2% compared to 2023. Murders dropped 26.4%. Really? And reported rapes decreased by 25.7%.
Okay.
Now, let's understand.
Do you trust the CIA, Lowell? Do you trust the CIA?
And when you're talking about the grapes, it's a high percentage of people
I know.
do not
I'm
come
leading
out
you
and
down a
report
path,
those.
my friend.
So we don't know the actual numbers, but this is what we always go by, period. There's no other way to go by. Can't go by things that people do not report. So it's down 25.7%, people.
Yeah, so comical. The numbers are a bit construed due to COVID, 100%. So this is very important, and this is why I do this with people, and that's why I'm a little bit different than most channels, is when he starts talking about these numbers, if he gets to it, I don't know how deep into these numbers or how long ago this video was made, but numbers are decreasing below the 2019 period. So that's before COVID. COVID did not hit America, and we didn't react to COVID, to be honest with you, until 2021. But COVID didn't hit America until February of 2020. There are some people that believe a couple people got sick in December of 2019. I myself, in February of 2020, got the most sick I have ever been in my entire life, and I probably could have had COVID at that time. But I had chest x-rays done at that time, and I didn't have the fiberglass shit you see from COVID. So I don't think that I did. But I was very, very fucking sick. So you don't like this? You don't trust the CIA? You don't trust the FBI? Do you trust the Department of Justice to investigate Trump? Do you think the Department of Justice is trustworthy in investigating Trump?
Aggravated assaults decreased during that period as well from last year, 12.5% according to the data. And robberies fell 17.8%. Now, I'm confused. Donald Trump said crime was going up. You would have to be a dipshit or sheep to believe what Donald Trump says, seeing as how he doesn't have any stats or facts to back his shit up. It just comes out of his mouth. While on the stump, this man talks about everything under the sun but you guys. What can I do for you? Let me get that out the way. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get tax breaks. I'm going to do this. Now, sharks and batteries and electrocutions. We're going to talk about the late, great Hannibal Lecter.
Okay, well, you just jump right to it. Okay, Lo, you don't trust anybody. Do you trust Donald Trump? Who do you trust to make the decisions? Do you trust Donald Trump to make the decisions?
You know, the dude is a character in a movie that never died in any movie that he...
Okay, so why would you vote for Donald Trump if your answer is no? If you don't trust the FBI, the CIA, the Department of Justice, congressmen, judges, you don't trust... You have to vote for somebody to make a decision. And if you're voting for Donald Trump, my friend, then you are saying... Yeah, see, Lo, you know the trap, so you're trying to avoid it. Lo, you support fascism. If you do not trust the FBI, if you do not trust the CIA, if you do not trust congresspeople, if you do not trust the Department of Justice, if you do not trust the judiciary, and you are willing to vote for Donald Trump, then that says you trust Donald Trump. You trust him more than the other people. You trust him to make those decisions. That is literal fascism. That is the definition. When I first started this channel, people would come on here and they say, Donald Trump is a fascist. And I'd say, don't say that unless it applies to the definition. And then I'd have people that come in from the right and they'd say, you're all communists. And I'd say, you guys shouldn't say that unless it applies to the definition. And now I have people that come in here that call me a communist and a fascist, and that just proves that they didn't graduate from the 3rd grade, because they would know that communism and fascism are actually competing forms of government. So therefore you cannot be a communist and a fascist at the same time. That's what I'm saying. But lol, do you hear what I'm saying? Like, if you say that you don't believe in any of the viability of any of those options, but you're willing to vote for Donald Trump, you are legitimately saying you are okay with a dictator. Like, that boggles my mind that you think the option, I'm not trying to change your mind, lol. I'm trying to get you to use yours. The option is between having a person that is going to hold the status quo. Let's say hold the status quo in Kamala Harris. Because the argument right now is between the left over whether she's progressive or not, and the right over whether or not she's too progressive, right? So let's take the middle ground. And let's say she's going to continue the status quo. Is the status quo better than having a dictator? Yeah, lol. Does that sound like a good thing? Do you think... So when my commenters come in here, and I have libertarians and I have left-wing people that come in here, but libertarians and my conspiracy theory doomerists, RFK people are my favorite, because I go, Donald Trump should be put on trial because he committed crimes. And they go, that's fine, but so should Hillary, and so should all these other people. And I go, okay, so what if Donald Trump being put on trial for these crimes leads to that door opening? What if Joe Biden, with the Supreme Court decisions that he wants to make, opens the door for Obama to be prosecuted, for Biden to be prosecuted? Are you for that? And they're like, yes. And I'm like, okay, so then Donald Trump being prosecuted now could be an open door to that type of situation. Yeah, but no, they just want to, okay, what do you want? And they eventually always say the same thing. All of them should be put on trial at the same time. Now, fuck the logistics of that. Just the logistics by itself don't make sense. But that's communism. Literally dragging the people that you disagree with because you think that they're corrupt, not because you have proof or evidence that they're corrupt, but because you think that they're corrupt, is exactly what Lenin did in Russia. He drug rich people that he didn't like and that the people didn't like into the street and gave them a trial and then shot them. You can't do that. We can't have a dictatorship. You can't have 100% a communistic nation where you go and drag your political rivals into the street and put them all on trial. This is not a society that is sustainable. You have to have people that exhibit the majority of the values that you want America to exhibit, but it has to be evidenced by the things that they do. The reason that I am looking to vote for Kamala is because I have looked into all of the shit that I thought about her that was bad and realized some of it I might still be right about, and the majority of it I was wrong about because I was eating up the dumb shit I heard on the news. It's about using your own mind. There is no such thing. Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys this. Everybody has been sold a bunch of fucking lies, and we all agree on that. One of those lies is that one day your side will be in charge. One of the lies that everybody, whether you're a left-wing person, a right-wing person, a progressive, a libertarian, an independent, has been sold the lie that if you elect the right person, they will make society in the image that you want it to be. There is no human being alive on this earth that is capable of doing that, even if they had the power to do it. But existing within this society, there is never going to be a way for the left to completely dominate politics or the right to completely dominate politics. And what that has created in our culture is a bunch of people that every time that their person gets elected and gets into office, become extremely disappointed in the outcome. Not enough is done. We didn't win. Why aren't we in a progressive utopia now? Why aren't we in a conservative utopia now? They told me that's what was going to happen. And you've done that over and over and over to yourselves until you get to this point where you start electing people that are super fucking extreme and willing to take advantage of that. And that is Donald Trump. Donald Trump is not going to turn this country into a conservative utopia. Project 2025 is a very scary agenda, and I do believe that Donald Trump will push 2 or 3 of those things, and I do think that's enough to push America back a good 20 years. Roe v. Wade has already pushed us back at least 10. But guess what? He's not going to create a conservative utopia for you. It's not going to happen. And Kamala Harris isn't going to create a progressive utopia. Because the reality of the situation is, the way our political system works, is that a party gets it for 8 years, and then a party gets it for 8 years. It's genuinely what happens. And we bounce back and forth between the two. We've been sold a lot of lies, and some of them are kind of coming home to roost. And some of it's politicians' fault, some of it's people's fault. But if we don't hold ourselves accountable, if we don't take personal responsibility for the shit that's going on and say to ourselves, I'm not going to vote for a person that could be a dictator, that has said he'll be a dictator, and don't give me that he said one day. Who in the fucking entirety of the universe would ever say I'm only going to be a dictator for one day? I can't believe you guys fall for that shit. Like, that's insane to me. Insane to me that you'd be like, it was only one day, dog. He said one day. Me too, guys. If you guys put me in power, I swear to God, I'll only be dictator for one day. You guys are so funny. You don't trust the FBI. You don't trust the CIA. You don't trust Congress. You don't trust the judicial system. Donald Trump says, I'm only going to be a dictator for one day. And you guys are like, I believe that shit. Holy fuck, man. No fucking way. No fucking way. It was a joke. It wasn't a joke, dog. You guys, every time he says something wrong, you guys are like, it's a joke. It's not a joke. It wasn't a joke. He said that shit seriously. I watched that shit. I watched it live. He said that shit, and he meant that shit.
According to the data. And robberies fell 17.8%. Now, I'm confused. Donald Trump said crime was going up. You would have to be a dipshit or sheep to believe what Donald Trump says, seeing as how he doesn't have any stats or facts to back his shit up.
Machine,
it just comes out of his mouth. While
again,
on the stump, this man talks about everything under the sun.
Give me
but
something
you guys.
to do.
What can I do for you? Let me get that out the way. I'm going to do this. We get tax breaks. I'm going to do this. Now, sharks and batteries and electrocutions. We're going to talk about the late, great Hannibal Lecter. Even though the dude is a character in a movie that never died, in any movie that he was in, and the actual actor is still the fuck alive. What's the late great about? It's like you guys thrive on stupidity. It's
Thomas
like
Trump,
it is your
good call,
engine.
Missy.
It gives you energy. You guys have, your stuff is not Red Bull. You guys get high off of Red Bull shit.
No, you're trolling now for sure.
You
You're
get
100%
energy from
trolling.
bullshit. Facts deflate you. Donald Trump does not have anything to say on his stump if it's not a lie. All I ask you, MAGA minions, go listen to his 3-hour fucking rallies. Mark down the points that get you all excited.
Carlton, you can't prove anything you believe. That's the best part about you guys, is you actually have zero evidence or proof about anything you believe. However, I can literally point to the fucking pages in Project 2025 where they talk about dismantling the FBI and loading it with Trump loyalists. Yeah, no, you're right, buddy. The things that you can't prove, I can prove just about the other side. Good call, though. You're doing fucking great.
And get it. Then take your ass to DuckDuckGo, which you guys love to look at, even though it's just a search engine. It's a source that you need to worry about. This whole like Google thing is like, it's just remedial. Look it up if you don't know what it is. But still, go to DuckDuckGo. I'll go to Google. We should arrive at the FBI, just like everybody else. Correct? Look up the stats in which this man is speaking and try and find them.
Oh,
Quick
check it
hint
out,
for
Bill.
you. They're not there. And if they're not there,
sure,
then you're being suckered. And I
Whatever you
understand
got.
you don't like to be suckered.
Whatever
Nobody
you got,
does.
Carlton.
But your come to Jesus moment is to realize you're believing in a false prophet. The only thing that this man has to do with prophet is profit. You guys think he's the one that's
Carlton's
prophetic.
like,
No, he's
I
not
got
prophetic.
another one.
He's
Hold on.
pathetic is what he
Let-
is.
I got
And
owned
you
by that one.
are
Let me go
even
get
more
another.
pathetic to look up to an idiot. But let's move on. And the other thing that he does is that he tries to tell you that crime was better under him.
Oh, God,
let's look
old
at
soul.
the stats. Now,
No,
this right
don't be
here is
that
from
guy.
the New York Times.
Please, God,
Murder
don't be that guy.
rose by almost 30% in 2020 when Donald Trump was president. The entire year, murder rose. So how is it that you guys believe in making America great again when America's greater now when it comes to crime? You want to go back to worse crime? You see how none of the shit you guys speak about makes any sense, and how easy it is to debunk
America's
anything
been profiting
that Donald
under
Trump
every
says.
president
It's
for
simple.
the last 40
you guys
years,
choose
Carlton.
not to, because guess what?
Okay.
We understand. If you've been suckered, it's hard to believe that you fell for it. You believe you're smarter than that. And I want to tell you something. You're not. Everybody can get suckered, but it takes a special kind of fool to go to Suckerville to live, not to visit. You guys packed up, got a double wide trailer, and you're staying in Suckerville for the rest of your life. You were supposed to be a visit. It turned out into a lifestyle for you. And to get out of it, you got to pack the fuck up and move away to Logic World. I know it's going to be hard letting go of your delusions, but take that little pill called facts, let it sink in, let it take over your spirit, and get your ass out of Suckerville. We're more than happy to welcome you back to the sane part of the country. Just my understanding of facts. You know, those stats, I love to go off of those instead of somebody's feelings. I speak facts, straight facts, no chaser. Fuck your feelings.
That's my man. Carlton, what happened in 2021? What could have possibly happened to
How to
create
kill
a
deadly
global
bacteria
pandemic?
in drinking
Oh, wait.
water.
Let me go ahead and I'll give you your answer before you even give to me. COVID, the whole COVID thing, none of it happened. Like, it's all made up. Yeah, that's what you're going to say. What happened in 2020? What could have possibly caused an inflationary period for the last 4 years globally? What could have happened, Carlton, buddy? Do you know what happened in 2020? Or are you aware? Do you know what happened in 2020, Carlton? No, look at you. You're like are you a bot? I think most of you guys are bots because you all just say the same shit over and over again. It's hilarious. Y'all are some of the weirdest motherfuckers alive. I don't understand how everyone voted for Biden because they hate Trump, but now we're living like this shit. You think Kamala is going to do better? Ganja, tell me one thing about Kamala that you actually know. Tell me one actual thing so I can shit on you for being wrong. Go ahead, tell me. Tell me one thing, and then I will eviscerate your fucking argument. It'll be amazing. You ready for it? I don't give a shit if you're a left or an independent or a right. When you come in my channel saying that dumb shit, that all that shit is the same bullshit, like, I will fucking wreck you. It's going to be amazing. Let's go. I don't care what fucking your party is. Jesus Christ. I hate you. I think I might hate you guys that come into my shit and say everybody's the same. I think I might dislike you guys that are on the left that come into my chat and shit on Kamala more than I hate the fucking MAGA people. That actually might be true. I might hate the lefties that come into my chat and fucking talk shit about their own candidates without knowing a goddamn thing about them than actually the MAGA people. That actually might be true. No shit. No shit, Carlton. Carlton, tell me you don't know how economics work. Carlton, tell me you don't know how economics work without letting me know. Go ahead. Tell me, Carlton. Carlton, next tell me about the grocery prices and gas prices. Carlton, tell me about grocery prices, gas prices, and then somehow relate them to inflation. Do that. Come on. Say the thing, Carlton. Ooh, Carlton, can you say borders are for me? I'm edging right now, Carlton. I'm almost to climax. Can you say DEI too? Holy shit, you are a bot. I think Nightbot, is this your people, Nightbot? This might be your Nightbot. Yeah, you don't know anything about Carlton. You want to talk to me about grocery prices? I've been in the grocery industry for 20 years. Actually, just read intel on it this morning. If you'd like to talk about grocery prices, I'll fucking wreck you on that too. God, you've done so well since you've been here. Not saying a goddamn thing. Look at you. Thank you, Carlton. Oh God, I climaxed. It's over. I have to go get a new pair of pants now. Holy fuck. You guys are the greatest. I love MAGA supporters. You guys are weird as fuck, but I love you. I'm telling you, I'm going to be there. When you guys get out of the call, after Donald Trump leaves you high and dry, I'll be there with a cigarette and a fucking hug. And I'm going to be like, welcome back to reality, guys. Fucking, it's all right. No, it's okay. Like, I know you guys did some dumb shit. I know you... No, stop. Stop apologizing. You guys said some stupid shit. It's okay. It's all right. I'm going to give you a hug. And we're like, welcome back. Welcome back. Now we're going to go watch the Olympics. Oh, I love you guys. You guys are amazing. Oh, Christ. Would you like me to tell you? 555? Well, tell me something that you believe about her that's wrong, though. Like, tell me something that you think makes her a bad candidate. And I can sit up here. I mean, I've got my doc up here. This is my doc on Kamala. It's 8 pages long, and all I did was about 6.5, 7 hours worth of work yesterday. But I got about 8 pages of notes here that I can just sit here and read to you the whole fucking thing. But I don't want to do that. I want to know what makes you think that she's a bad candidate. Joe Biden's deportation numbers are on par with Donald Trump's. She apparently did not. You guys were perfectly happy with Senator Langford's policy being thrown out the window. He's a Republican. You guys have no problem with that. So apparently she's doing a great job. If she wasn't doing a great job on the border, you guys would have been willing to pass the legislation to fix the border. And look, those are just facts. Those are just facts. Carlton, you know that she wasn't in the primary, right, you fucking dipshit? In 2020? You know that she was the vice president-elect in 2020? You do know that, right, Carlton? Holy shit. Do you know what an encounter is, Carlton? Did you know that an encounter is different than an actual person making it across to the interior of the United States of America? No, you don't know that either, huh? Like, you just spit out all the stuff and you don't know anything about the stuff that you can actually talk about. Like, you don't know what an encounter is, do you, Carlton? God, you guys are so fucking dumb. Why would Langford, why would a Republican, why would Katie Britt sign off on something that made illegal immigration legal? Why would conservatives create a bill that made illegal immigrations legal? Like, Langford right now is just like, fuck lol, dude. It did not make, like, lol, you're insane. You've never read that bill, have you? Holy shit, you guys are insane. I need you guys to stop watching my show. I like that you guys are watching it, and I like that you guys make content for me because I get to talk to you guys. But more than anything, I need you guys to go read. I need you guys to go read some shit. No, you didn't read it. If you read it, you would know that that's not true. Yeah, do you know what those are, Carlton? Do you know what a encounter is? No, you don't, Carlton. You don't know what you don't. God, dude, I literally can sit here. I can literally sit here and tell you what you're gonna say next. God, I fucking love you guys. Oh yeah, loves being here. Shut up, old soul. You're the worst of them. People that are like, they're all bad. They're all bad. There's no good side. Everything's bad. Doomerism is like actually what's destroying this country. Doomerism and MAGA Republicans. Lol, I will, if you're a dumbass, I would just ban you on all of them, but I expect that you won't be a dumbass.
No, dude, you have not been here for this entire time, Reflex. I've been explaining things for 2.5 hours. This is like when the scientists are like, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to explain to you why the Earth isn't flat. Haven't met a doomer? I meet doomers all fucking day, dude. Oh, God. I read doomers are like half of my fucking chat. All right, we're getting close to the end. Look, I'll do you a favor. Since Ganja's not going to actually say anything because he doesn't actually have a reason not to vote for Kamala Harris. Let's go through it. Let's go through some of Kamala's W's. Let's make these fuckers sit here and listen to it. First of all, let's talk about Kamala. First female vice president. Harris played a crucial role as president of the Senate with her power to cast tie-breaking votes, helping pass bills such as the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, stimulus package. That's right. If it wasn't for Kamala, you wouldn't have gotten your stimulus. First of all, every one of you motherfuckers loved your stimmy. You rub that stimmy all over your face, okay? Then you spin it in like 47 minutes. And then you're like, you guys are like, rubbed it on your face. And then you went and spent the stimmy. And then you're like, this economy sucks. Now you got 3 47-inch TVs and you can't pay your rent. And you're like, how did this happen? Fuck, yeah, dude. And the Inflation Reduction Act. Which, by the way, Lowell, you've already said that you thought Joe Biden reducing the price of drugs was actually good. So you already agree that she did something good, all right? First African-American, South Asian American vice president. She was a senator of California from 2017 to 2021. As a senator, Harris advocated for stricter gun control laws, the DREAM Act, and federal legalization of cannabis, as well as healthcare and taxation reform. She gained a national profile for her pointed questioning of Trump administration officials during Senate hearings, including Trump's second Supreme Court nominee, Brett Kavanaugh. One of my favorite ones was when she looked at Brett Kavanaugh and she said, hey, I like beer guy. Name one law that regulates a man's body. And he was like, excuse me, Senator, what was the question? And she said, name one law that regulates a man's body. And he said, I would have to get back to you on that one. She's like, there is no law. That's the answer. There is no law. No law. Yeah, so that was one of my favorite things that she did. She was the Attorney General of California from 2011 to 2017. As the state's chief law officer, she ensured that the laws of the state were uniformly and adequately enforced. She oversaw law enforcement agencies, including district attorneys, sheriffs. She was the district attorney of San Francisco before that. And she was chief counsel in state litigation. Her mom, let's talk about her mom for a minute. Her mom was a biologist whose work on the progesterone receptor gene stimulated advances in breast cancer research. That's right. What has your mom done? What has your mom done? Her mom helped out with cancer research. What has your mom done? Shyamala had moved to the United States from India as a 19-year-old graduate. That's right. She was an immigrant, guys. She was an immigrant. How crazy is that? That helped with breast cancer research. Oh, that's fucking crazy, isn't it? These immigrants, they do things when they come here. That's fucking insane. They're just not here, just stealing and shit. Wow, that's crazy. Wow. You're committing crimes? After studying nutrition and endocrinology at the University of California, Berkeley, she received her PhD in 1964. Her father, Donald Harris, is a Stanford University professor of economics who arrived in the United States from Jamaica. A fucking another immigrant. That's crazy. It's crazy. In 1961, for graduate study at UC Berkeley and received a PhD in economics in 1966. Do you think both of Trump's parents have PhDs? I don't think either one of them had PhDs, but maybe his dad did. Maybe his dad did. For all the people that say she's not from California, guys, that's another one. That's another one. She's not from California. Spent first 12 years in California, first 12 years in America. And then she went to Canada, and she graduated from a Canadian college, then went to Howard University. Okay? Let's look at some of the more things that she did. I'm loving this. She participated in anti-apartheid protests at the South African Embassy and Nation Mall.
While at UC Law San Francisco, she served as the president of its chapter of the Black Law Students Association. She graduated in 1986 with a degree in political science and economics. She graduated with a Juris Doctor in 1989 and was admitted to the California bar in June of 1990. For all you people that believe that she did certain things with Willie Brown, Harris dated Willie Brown in the 1990s, the year before Brown was elected the mayor of San Francisco. That's right, he wasn't the mayor. For all you dipshits that are like, she fucked the mayor. She dated him before he was the mayor. For all you people that are like, he cheated on his wife with her. Brown was separated while he was dating Harris. I got 30 minutes probably left, so I'm just going to sit here and continue to do this. It's pretty amazing, actually. She received less than 1% of the vote. Carlton, you're a fucking moron. She wasn't in the primary. She dropped out of the primaries before because she knew she was going to be the vice president of fucking America, which is what happened when she fucking trounced your fucking moron president candidate. Holy shit. This gotta suck to be you guys. Are you guys tired of winning yet? Just asking for a friend. Are you guys tired of winning yet? You guys are weird. Hold on, I'm getting there. Ganja. I'm giving the life story, dog. I'm trying to be comprehensive for you, Ganja. You asked the reasons. I'm giving you a comprehensive look at who she was. She wasn't in the primary, Carlton. That's not how it works. She never joined the primary, but good try. You're fucking weird. That's not how it works. She dropped out before appeal to authority. You don't know what that means, lol. You have no idea what appeal to... You saw somebody say appeal to authority. You're like, I'm going to use that one. No, look, Carlton. It's all rigged. God, you guys are so weird. Ad hominem. I knew you were going to do it. Oh, so fucking weird. All right, let's continue. All right. Let's go for it. We're gonna read the pot convictions again because I don't think Ganja was here, and Ganja obviously it's in his name. So Ganja, you wouldn't say it, but I know what you believe. So we're just gonna go over what I know that you believe. Harris, this is what people say. Harris oversaw more than 1,900 marijuana convictions in San Francisco. Previously unreported records from the DA's office show her prosecutors appear to have convicted people on marijuana charges at a higher rate than under her predecessor based on data about marijuana arrests in the city. That's what you believe, Ganja, right? That's what you believe. So let's talk about the actual facts surrounding the situation. But former lawyers in Harris's office and defense attorneys who worked on drug cases say most defendants arrested for low-level pot possession were never locked up, and only a few dozen people were sent to state prison for marijuana convictions under Harris's tenure. The exact number was 45 people that were sent to prison. Gabbard was misleadingly citing figures for all of California while Harris was Attorney General, even though the vast majority of marijuana cases in the state are prosecuted by independently elected county district attorneys, not Kamala Harris. Over Harris's 7 years as top prosecutor, her attorneys won 1,956 misdemeanor and felony convictions for marijuana possession, cultivation, or sale, according to data from DA's office. That includes people who are convicted of marijuana offenses and more serious crimes at the same time. She supported medical marijuana, which is already legal in California. However, Harris only publicly came out for legalizing marijuana only in May of 2018. Once again, these are all things that you believe. So now let's talk about the actual facts. Only 45 people were sentenced to state prison for marijuana convictions during Harris's 7 years in office, compared with 135 people during Hallinan, who was an extremely progressive lawyer before her, and yet she was even more progressive than he was in 7 years to his 8 years. According to data from the state's correctional department, that only includes individuals whose most serious conviction was marijuana, which means that if you assaulted somebody or if you killed somebody and you had a charge on your record that was for marijuana because you had marijuana or under the influence of marijuana, that's considered a conviction on marijuana. However, you will not, you can plea it down to it, is what it comes down to, but you wouldn't do that. Those numbers don't cover people sentenced to time in county jail. In other words, this would be people that were given lesser sentences. Despite the substantial numbers of convictions, many of the people who were arrested for marijuana during Harris's tenure were never locked up or never even charged with a crime, according to attorneys who worked on both sides of the courtroom. Our policy was that no one with a marijuana conviction for mere possession could do any jail time at all, said Paul Henderson, who led narcotics narcotics prosecutions for several years under Harris. Defendants arrested for the lowest level possession would typically be referred to drug treatment programs instead of being charged, and weightier charges for marijuana sales would routinely be pleaded down to less serious ones. Solis, who led the Public Defender's Office misdemeanor division for part of Harris's tenure, agreed that her office only rarely prosecuted people for low-level simple possession. Kamala Harris and I disagreed on a lot of criminal justice issues, but I have to admit she was probably the most progressive prosecutor in the state at the time when it came to marijuana, Solis said. She did, however, seem to more aggressively prosecute dealers. Now, all of these people had their records expunged in 1975. When you talk about people saying that she was holding prisoners past their release date, this is a misnomer. They weren't holding people past their release date. The argument was that people should be let go early if they have good behavior to help to decrease the population within an overpopulated prison system. Her attorneys that work within her office, not Kamala Harris, but her attorneys made the argument that that would decrease the labor force that they use to fight fires. That is a stupid fucking argument. And when brought to her attention, she was shocked and told those lawyers to never use that argument again. I do not believe, as I said earlier, that this is a plus in the Kamala department. I think that she was either complacent or she was incompetent in that job. However, everybody gets grace and faith and is never going to be not given a path to redemption because they fucked up once. So I think that this is a little bit of a black mark, but the general idea that she held people past their conviction, past their sentencing is wrong. The issue was about whether they would be released early, not whether they would be held past the length of their original sentence, which is what everybody says. While Harris was district attorney in 2010, an investigation found that Deborah Madden, a police crime lab technician, stole and used some of the cocaine that she was supposed to analyze as evidence. Now, mind you, I'm not going to lie, I probably would have done that shit too. I'm not going to talk about coke, but I'm not going to lie. I probably would have done that shit too. Even though the police department ran the lab, Madden would testify for the prosecutors. This is the lie that that because of Kamala Harris's time as district attorney, 1,000 people were freed because of her inability her corruption. Superior Court Judge Ann Christine Masulo, not a federal judge, as Biden said Harris District Attorney's Office violated defendants' rights by hiding damaging information about the technician and was indifferent to demands that the office account for its failings. The district attorney failed to disclose information that clearly should have been disclosed, the judge wrote in a court order. Plus, Harris's office did not have a written policy about informing defendants if there were any problems with evidence or witnesses. The scandal led to 1,000 cases being dismissed, which was the appropriate thing to do. So once again, in this area, it is not Kamala Harris that is at fault. It is a lab technician that did some shady shit, and then she did not have a written policy to deal with this, which I'm sure was amended after this happened. But once again, saying that Kamala Harris is some kind of incompetent person who was unable to do these things, and it led to the release of these 1,000 people who were 100% innocent, they had never done anything, is just not fucking true. Kevin Cooper is my favorite. Here, let's just play this for you guys. You know what? Fuck it. We're gonna play this for you guys. This is the kid.
The first time I met Kevin Cooper.
Okay, what we're gonna do right here. Here you guys go. This is for all of you guys that are doing all the lefties. All you lefties that are like, fucking, there's an innocent man on death row. Innocent man on death row that she denied DNA evidence to. Okay? This is for you. This is the kid. This is the little boy who had his throat slashed. This is the little boy who found his mother, his father, his sister, and his best friend murdered. Now, there are some inconsistencies. And this is like, as far as the actual story of this incarceration goes, they are insane. And there are inconsistencies. And as I said at the beginning of this, I'm never going to defend the San Bernardino Police Department. But Kevin Cooper had escaped from prison. Kevin Cooper allegedly, and he pleaded guilty to this at one point, had abducted a 15-year-old and sexually assaulted her. And this is the only surviving victim of the family of the person that you guys continue to shit on Kamala Harris for, even though she didn't do what you accused her of. This is the only person that survived it. And this is his fucking story.
I was 8 years old, and he slit my throat. He hit me with the hatchet and put a hole in my skull. He stabbed me twice, which broke my ribs and collapsed one lung. I lived only because I stuck 4 fingers in my neck to slow the bleeding, but I was too weak to move. I laid there 11 hours, looking at my mother, who was right beside me. I know now he came through the sliding glass door and attacked my dad first. He was lying on the bed and was struck in the dark without warning with the hatchet and knife. He was hit many times because there is a lot of blood on the walls and on the side of the bed. My mother screamed and Cooper came around the bed and started hitting her. Somehow my dad was able to struggle between the bed and the closet, but Cooper bludgeoned my father to death with the knife and hatchet, stabbing him 26 times and axing him 11. One of the blows severed his finger and it landed in the closet. My mother tried to get away, but he caught her at the bottom of the bed and he stabbed her 25 times and axed her 7.
That's all I'm going to play, because I'm not going to sit here through this. This is 6.5 minutes long. If you want to hear the rest of that, go listen to it. So when you guys continue to push this, Kamala denied this innocent man on death row the right to his DNA evidence, which she didn't. Because the other side, the inconsistencies in the investigating to this atrocity came out later, and then she literally got a hold of the person that wrote the article and said, oh my God, I was unaware of these fucking inconsistencies, and allowed the DNA evidence to be used. And mind you, this is a case that was prosecuted before Kamala Harris even had her law degree. She didn't prosecute this man. She didn't choose to put this man in prison. These are the details that she was aware of. So specifically, for all the fucking lefties that come in here and say, I'm not going to fucking vote for this person because she did this thing. You tell me, if you had this evidence, and this is just a beginning, he was in the house, an abandoned house right next door to these people. There is blood and hair and every kind of evidence you possibly could fucking want. Like I said, there's another side of the story, and if you really want to get into it, you can do that. I'll link you guys to the New York Times article, because it does bring up some very valid points. But if you were the prosecutor and this was the evidence that you were aware of, because this trial happened 25 years before you were in office, and somebody came to you and said, hey, do you think we should allow this DNA test to be done? They're saying it's new, and this guy says this is his 12th appeal. He's already been proven over and over and over again that, what's his name? Arnold Schwarzenegger said no. Jerry Brown said no. And just so you know, she couldn't have released him. That's not her job. She can't give clemency. That's the governor's job. That would have been on Brown, or that would have been on Newsom. But if you think, as a prosecutor, that somebody comes to you and says, we should introduce this DNA evidence to this guy who's had 12 appeals, every one of them proven wrong, that you wouldn't be like, nah, we're good. You're an idiot. You're insane. This trial, this case is emotionally charged. I'm going to take this off screen. When she heard about the New York Times, when she heard that there was inconsistencies in the case, she allowed the DNA evidence, or I'm sorry, the DNA testing to be allowed. And that DNA testing came back positive once again. Or whatever it is, where it doesn't prove anything. He's still in prison. Gavin Newsom concluded that he was still guilty. And there are a ton of people out there that believe he isn't. And that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother story whether this man did this atrocity or other people did. And that is a whole nother story. But if you think you're a prosecutor and you would have been like, let's help this guy out, you wouldn't have. You wouldn't have. No fucking way. No fucking way. Illegal immigrants getting out resources for free. That's not true. We've already gone over it, and I'm not going to go over it again, Marlon. Okay. Anyways, like I said, you can definitely. Here, Here you go, buddy. I mean, if you're just gonna be a dipshit, Carlton, I'm gonna Google what you said because I don't want to be a dick. But if you're being a dipshit and you're saying shit like so that I can't read it, I'm just gonna fucking ban you. Okay, good job. Like, I don't want to ban you and then be like, you didn't say anything bad. Yeah, like I said, there's not a single thing that you guys believe about fucking... I took Spanish in high school, too. I got a C because it was a mostly Spanish-speaking city I lived in. So I just copied off the kid next to me. It's fucking amazing. His name was Kermit. Well, that's what we called him. I think his name was actually Carlos, but... like I said, Lo, all day long, dude, you do not do well. You don't do well. You can tell these people they're not doing a good job. My guy, you're not exactly doing well yourself. You need to look in the mirror on that one, big guy. You need to spend some time checking out some of the shit that you're talking about. The collapsible for borders aren't secured. Oh my God, you guys are so full of shit. We're being invaded. We're not being invaded. Oh, here's one. I like this one. Here's the Golan Heights thing. Here you go. This is how much good work Trump did. Let's bring up the Trump's Heights video. Oh God, I love this shit. I'll show you how good Trump was for the Middle East. Yeah, that's the sign that says Trump Heights that they put in the Golan Heights, which is one of the main fucking reasons for this conflict. Okay.
We have an advantage, buddy.
There you guys go. Ready for this? Yeah. Yeah, that's not destabilizing. Let's go to a place where Israel fucking in the 6-Day War took over a bunch of Syrian fucking land, and then let's throw Trump Heights on that bitch. That's not destabilizing in the least. Totally peaceful. Did a really good job in the Middle East. Threw up a fucking Trump Heights sign in the Golan Heights. Holy fuck. Oh my God. Oh my God. You guys, you're killing me. I didn't say it wasn't true, Marlon. I said it's not true that they're illegal. You keep using the wrong word. Illegal immigrants would be people that escaped across the border and were not found. Undocumented immigrants are people that come across the border, are encountered, and then given trial dates to determine their citizenship through asylum. The problem with most of these arguments is language. You're using the language that people want you to use because it's bombastic and extravagant and it makes you feel good. You're angry. If you want to have a conversation about undocumented immigrants, we can have that conversation. Yeah, why don't they, Carlton? Because there's a backlog of over 6 years worth of cases because we don't have enough justices. Do you know who tried to put more justices into effect to handle those cases? Joe Biden did, Carlton. Joe Biden did. They are not illegal. And if you're going to just keep saying dumb shit, then I'm not going to talk to you. Argue with people in chat. If you want to have an actual conversation without using a stupid-ass term that doesn't mean what you think it does, then I'm not going to talk to you. If you'd like to have a real conversation, if you're not full of shit, if you actually want to discuss the problems of today, then fucking stop using dumb fucking language. Oh my God. I love the whole I live in Arizona argument. I live in California. What the fuck does that mean? Oh my God. Like, your arguments are just terrible. I just want you guys to have better arguments so we can like talk. Like, could you guys just like try to have better? Can we have better arguments? Can we talk about shit in a way that isn't like stupid? Lol, I live in California and I don't see an invasion. So what does that mean? What do we go off of? How much weight does anecdotal evidence have? Okay, hold on. We're gonna give you. I got off track because I started doing all this stuff. I got off track. Sorry, Ganja. I got off track. My bad. Where the fuck is my? Oh, you guys want to see some crazy shit? You want to see how crazy my email looks with fucking? This is all like conspiracy theory shit, except for a couple of them. I get some Pac-Man and some Heather Cox Richards in here, but this is like all conspiracy theory shit that I get sent by people. Holy fuck. Okay. Ganja, you want to know some things that she's done really good? You want to know some things that Kamala has done? Because I got off track. I was debating all the dumb shit that people... Okay. Okay. So if you want to know things that she did, San Francisco Police Department officers credited Harris with tightening the loopholes defendants had used in the past. In addition to creating a gun crime unit, Harris opposed releasing defendants on their own recognizance if they were arrested on gun crimes, sought minimum 90-day sentences for possession of concealed or loaded weapons, and charged all assault weapons possession cases as felonies, adding that she would seek prison terms for criminals who possessed or used assault weapons and would seek maximum penalties on gun-related crimes. So if you are pro-Second Amendment, but you are also pro-accountability, Kamala Harris is fucking amazing. She is both willing to allow people to have their guns, but she also thinks people should be held accountable. And no, she does not think that you should have an AR-15 because you're using it for hunting. Harris created a hate crimes unit focusing on hate crimes against LGBT children and teens in school. In early 2006, Gwen, I can't say her name, a 17-year-old American Latina transgender teenager, was murdered by two men who later used the gay panic defense. If you don't know what the gay panic defense it is, a gay person came on to me, so I freaked out and murdered them. And if you think that sounds insane, it is insane, but it was literally used in people's defenses that got away with murdering LGBT people. I wonder why LGBT people feel like, you know, shit kind of sucks for them. I just don't know. Before being convicted of second-degree murder, Harris, alongside her mother, Sylvia, convened a two-day conference of at least 200 prosecutors and law enforcement officials nationwide to discuss strategies to counter such legal defenses. She helped ban gun shows that were going through poor neighborhoods and selling guns illegally into neighborhoods that had gun violence issues. Gun dealers were driving through poor neighborhoods that were murdering each other and selling them guns, and she helped put a stop to that. If you're anti-death penalty, she's anti-death penalty. In 2004, Harris recruited civil rights activist Latifah Simon to create the San Francisco Reentry Division. The flagship program was the Back on Track Initiative, a first-of-its-kind reentry program for first-time nonviolent offenders aged 18 to 30. To be in the program, you had to get your diploma, commit to 220 hours of community service, maintain employment, take parenting classes, and pass drug tests. At graduation, the court would dismiss the case and expunge the graduate's record. Now, just so you know, right now, a very hardcore right-wing talking point is that there was this one lady that was assaulted, and that fucking sucks for her, by an illegal immigrant that was like an actual illegal immigrant, not an undocumented immigrant, somebody that was here illegally that had been using the program to take advantage of it. And they closed that loophole. So before you guys get into the, oh, it was like all kinds of them using the program to murder people. That shit wasn't happening. It was less than a dozen, and they closed the loophole. And now, just so you know, it's used across the entire United States in huge fucking cities because it was that good. The 200 people that graduated from the program had a recidivism rate of less than 10% compared to the 53% of California's drug offenders who returned to prison within 2 years of their release. The Department of Justice also found that the cost to taxpayers per participant was markedly lower at $5,000 than the cost of adjudicating a case at $10,000 and housing a low-level offender for $50,000. I did 6 hours of research that covered all the talking points of the right, that picked up a few W's for Kamala, and I can tell you fucking right now, she's 1,000% better than Donald Trump. But if you don't agree with that, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. I'm not up here to tell you to vote for her. You should fucking get politically literate and actually read stuff and then make a decision. If that decision is you think Donald Trump is the best president ever of all time, I haven't seen a single person able to actually alliterate that to me, but sure, why not? Sure, why not? Massive deportations. You know that that's not even logistically plausible, right? You know that the idea of deporting all people that are here that are undocumented, because that's who you guys mean. You guys say illegally, but you mean undocumented. Because if you just mean illegals, you're going to have to try and find those motherfuckers. You don't know where they are. That's how they got in here. Or you're going to have to start deporting all the fucking people that are here on visas that expired. You guys could deport those guys, I guess. That's going to break up a lot of fucking, like, well-to-do families, because there's lots of people that are actually pretty well off living here without visas. So y'all can deport them. Go for it. That's not going to be real helpful to the economy. But if you think Donald Trump's going to be able to massively deport undocumented immigrants, you are just as ignorant to statistics and plausibility as people on the left that think you can take all the guns. Like, those two things are the same. You cannot take every single gun in the country, and you cannot deport every undocumented person in the country. It's logistically impossible. Good chance, though, buddy. Good chance. Go for it. It's gonna be fucking hilarious to watch you guys even try. Statistically implausible. But you should read, Ganja. You're sitting here on my channel. I would rather you weren't in my chat, and I would rather that you were looking into policy. I would rather you were spending this time looking into policy, legislation, looking at the things that she's passed, looking at the things that she's been part of. Did you know that Kamala Harris held Corinthian College accountable for taking advantage of poor people and sued them for $1.2 billion? Do you know that after the banks failed in 2008, Kamala held banks accountable and recouped a bunch of money? Did you know that, like, things like when it's not COVID. Was it COVID? No, it wasn't COVID. All the big pharma companies that were using healthcare loopholes, she sued them and recouped money. There's tons of stuff that she's done. She's been a very good person. She's been very progressive, and she's made some mistakes. 100% for sure. She's done some things, in my opinion, that seem as though she should have had more oversight of things, and at the least is incompetent, and at worst was complacent or complicit. But you should look into it. You should also look into Donald Trump's legislation over his 4 years. There's not much. There's not much. It takes about an hour and a half to look through all of the legislation that Donald Trump actually got passed because he was terrible at it. Donald Trump had no idea what the fuck he was doing. Donald Trump mostly tried to pass isolationist types. You can look at Agenda 47. You don't even look at Project 2025. Agenda 47 is Donald Trump's platform. It is identical in many ways to Project 2025. You can just go look at that. There's all kinds of literature on that. That's what you should be looking at. What's up, Right Plate? Right Plate's a celebrity now. When Right Plate comes into the chat, Right Plate's a celebrity. Love the channel, Right Plate. You're doing amazing. Doing amazing. Actually, I know the exact statistics on arms, Carlton, and it's not as many as you think, my friend. It's not as many as you think, my good man. And do you understand how bad of an idea a civil war would be? Do you know who wins in a civil war, you dipshit? Do you know who wins in a civil war? Take a guess, Carlton. Yeah, who wins in a civil war? Because I know you're going to say some dumb shit. Come on, say it. Say who wins. I just can't wait to hear this fucking amazing fucking answer. Who wins? Yeah, that's what I thought. Russia and China. Dark cash. Good job. Do you know who wins? You fucking moron. If Americans start killing Americans. Are you that fucking stupid that you would think it would be a good idea for Americans to start? How would you determine whether somebody's a Republican or a Democrat? How would you determine who's MAGA and who's not? In times of actual military engagements, there's friendly fire. Yeah, it won't be any Americans, you absolute fucking idiot. You are possibly the dumbest human being on earth. The only people that win in a civil war in America where Americans kill Americans is China, Russia, North Korea, and Iran. Here, I'm just going to help you. Here you go. You don't want to be here. You don't want to be here, right? Say you don't want to be here. So that way I'll just let you go. I'll end the relationship for you. You can't be that stupid. You can't be so stupid that you think that mothers should fight their sons, fathers should fight their daughters, brothers and sisters. Like, you legitimately think that Americans should fight Americans over a political figure. Are you that stupid? Tell me you're that stupid so I can ban you. Tell me you're that stupid so you can be banned. Because I'll let you sit in here and I'll let you say all the dumb shit you want. That's fine. But if you legitimately think Americans should take the lives of other Americans and you think that's patriotic, I'll just ban you. I don't have a problem with that. Because that's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. And it doesn't matter if it's on the left. It doesn't matter if it's on the right. It doesn't matter if you're independent. If you think that Americans fighting Americans, that any way that turns out that Americans win, yeah, I don't need you here. I'm good. Let me know, dog. All right, where are we at? Let's stop shitting on Carlton. No, you what did you say? Let's Carlton, you know I have all of your fucking stuff right here. Right? You know that, right? Carlton. Carlton says, "Do you know who controls our weapons? You and your mobs of ladyboys on lands of, well, what the fuck does that even mean? Do you not realize how many of us there are and how heavily armed we are? Because we are. You're talking about land wells. Jesus fucking Christ, you're dumb. God, you're so fucking stupid. Oh, it hurts. My brain cells are killing themselves just reading the shit that, like, you say. You are aware that Americans won the U.S. Civil War. Oh my God, you're dumb. Holy fuck, you're stupid. Oh my God. This level of fucking dumbassery, I don't think I've seen in so long. Oh my God. Jess saved me. We won't see those until she starts actually running, Nick. If I were to ponder what Kamala's stances on many different things would be, it would be that she would probably continue to push for the same type of border security that Joe Biden was at the end of his presidency, or is at the end of his presidency. I'd imagine that she's going to push for ethics and control on the Supreme Court. I would imagine that she is going to talk more about having more states that decline to have the death penalty. I'd imagine that she is going to push for more things like legalization of marijuana, which already Joe Biden has asked to be moved to a Schedule 3 drug instead of a Schedule 1 drug. She's extremely progressive. As I've said before, many people don't understand exactly how progressive Kamala is because most people believe in the bullshit that she put all these people away, all the things that I've already debunked. There's tons of stuff. Sorry, my brain is broken from talking to that dude. He is quite possibly one of the dumbest people I've ever talked to. I don't think I can't go any further. Any American, let me just point that to you. Any American that thinks it's okay to turn guns on other Americans is a fucking moron. Like, if you think unemployment is bad, wait until it's 50%. If you think inflation is bad, wait until it's 200%. If you think our relations on a global stage are bad, wait until people... If you think the border is bad, wait until Americans are shooting other Americans and then tell me how the border's going to do during that. It's fucking stupid. You can super chat progressive ass better. Thanks, lol. Okay. No, lol is not a moderator. All right. We're at the end. I can't do any more after that shit. All right. So I appreciate you guys. I'm thankful to you guys. For those of you guys that aren't like insane and say dumb shit, like completely insane shit. I mean, some of you say dumb shit and I still love you, but you don't say completely insane shit. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Maybe one day we'll be able to have real conversations that don't involve crazy ass people. For those of you that don't know, you can support my channel with super chats. It's always appreciated. You can support my channel by donating to it in the Progressive Matters link to my website in the description below. You can just hit the like button on your phone right now. Hit the subscribe button right now to give me more push. You can join the Angry Ginger Army, which is in the join portion of my channel. It's only 10 cents a day, literally $3 for an entire month of Angry Gingerdom. And you can always just continue to support me by going and watching my videos on my channel, liking them, commenting on them, sharing them. I don't make any money from doing these live streams. I make about $2 from a stream like this in complete transparency. This one I will make nothing off of it because I chose to show the video of the child's testimony, which included images. So this will not be monetized. So I do not make money most of the time. This is something I do in my spare time because I think it's a good way of reaching people across the realm of politics. I have a lot of left-leaning values. I do not believe in joining parties. I am a human being that expresses his policies and values through the things that he does and the way that he lives his life. And I don't feel like I need a party to restrict me and tell me what I can or will believe. I currently believe Kamala is the person that I should vote for based off the research that I have done so far on her and all of the research that I have done on Trump on the past 3 years. But like I said before, I'm not up here to tell you who to vote for. I'm up here to show you that my mind works so that way you can use yours. I'm also up here to show you that sometimes when you have bad conversations with dumb fucking people, it will exhaust you and you'll want to end your night. Anyways, live streams Mondays and Wednesdays at 6, Saturdays at 5, or whenever I get done with my run and get on here because it's good for my mental health. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I love America. I love the Olympics. Support the fucking athletes, man. I don't give a shit what you think about other cultures and what they did for the opening. Support the fucking athletes. Stop saying you're patriots and you care about America and then shitting on America's athletes. If you're a person shitting on America's athletes, you can go fuck yourself. those guys, that's their dream. Other than fucking the basketball, LeBron and all those guys. Those guys fucking, I mean, it's still their dream. I don't want to shit on them either. But there's a lot of young people that have worked their whole fucking life to achieve the dream of representing the United States of America in the Olympics. And for people to naysay and shit on them is like insane to me. You shouldn't be shitting on the opening either, because it wasn't for you, it wasn't for you. But like shitting on the fucking athletes is out of this world. All right, guys. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. The next time we will be on Wednesday. I hopefully will be putting together a video with at least some of these notes or all of these notes for Kamala Harris and why I think Kamala Harris is a good candidate. And once I get to that point, I'll release that. One day I'll release my fake electors video, but it's a lot of fucking work. So I appreciate you guys. I'm thankful for all of you guys being here. Exactly, Elena. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, I can only, like, do the work, you know? Tell people the fucking truth about all of the shit that people believe. All this shit about Kamala. Do the research. Tell people the truth. All this shit about the opening to the Olympics. Do the research. Tell people the truth. The truth shall set us free. Or at least it'll get us all in arguments. One or the other. I don't know which. Probably the actual latter. But anyways, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And I'll see you next time.